Hey guys, it's Archie. Hey, how are you? I'm in Bangkok. Bangkok. The time is, it's 8:31. That's right, guys. 8:31. That's correct. 8:31 on the play school clock. What can I say to you today, guys? It is it's gonna adjust my clock, my watch. What can I say, guys? It's a lovely day in Bangkok. The sun has not gotten up yet. I'm wearing my bluesy. I went swimming in the pool with that yesterday. Yeah, I did the pool. Everything is really good. Yeah, it's really good. Having some great fun in Bangkok. I went to a big shopping mall yesterday. Icon Siam. Icon Siam. That was really cool. Fantastic food court. Man, I ate like a pig. And I didn't even have dinner. I ate so much. How's that? I didn't even have dinner. I didn't even have dinner. So yeah, that's exactly it. Didn't even have dinner. I'm going to be heading back to Australia soon. Leaving on Sunday. Sunday after late. Well, Doc's report. The wife and kids are fantastic. I gave the wife a call literally 15 minutes ago. Yeah, it was great. How are you, Doc's report? What's happening in your life? Mr. Wilkinson, why don't you just fuck right off? Fuck. Why don't you just fuck right off? Leave. No one says you have to come to this stream. Why don't you go and do something else like masturbate? Hey? And as for Doc's report, why don't you fuck off too? Why don't you fuck right off? Fuck. Fuck right off. No point staying around, is there? Hey? What's the point of you guys hanging around if you're gonna bitch like granny? What's the fucking point? Um, Mr. Wilkinson, just fuck off. I'm gonna put you. What can I do to you? How do I time this prick out? I'll just remove your comment, you lousy shithead. There you go. What else is going on? Doc's report. We've got one UCLT. Thank you. Eric L is there. I'm having a good time, actually. I'm getting ready to go back. It's almost over. And I had a lot of fun. It's been a bit of a break for me. I've been streaming continuously. And it's sort of, when you stream continuously, it takes a bit of a toll. But hey, what do you do? What can you say? So you can only try your best. What else can I say there? You got to try your best, see what you can get, and that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles. The way the cookie crumbles. You got to realize this. So yeah, I've been having a great time here. Great time. Had some great food. Did some reviews. Couple of reviews. I got a couple more to do. Got some longies, some long reviews. What else can I say to you? Let's get the bear. Let's get some. Okay, so we get. Thank you, Clive. Clive said to me, I didn't post the link. Thank you, Clive. The Zeal is in the house. Let's send him one. What can I say? What can I say? We got Machine Gun Chris. What's Machine Gun Chris up to? He just brokered a deal where the guy got a Patek Philippe two-tone Nautilus. That's the chronograph one. I reckon that would be my dream two-tone. Absolutely dream two-tone watch. That absolutely gorgeous. We're talking about the Patek Philippe 5980. Absolute gorgeous watch. Let's see, can I entice Rolex? Rolex keeps sending me messages, but he never seems to jump on the stream. He whinges like a bitch to Bear, but he never jumps on. I don't know why. I haven't worked it out yet. Why don't you jump on, have a chat to me, talk about life? That's what I like to discuss. I really wanted to discuss things. And yeah, exactly right, guys. What can I say? We've got someone jumping on now. We've got the bear. Hello, my favorite bear. How are you?
Good bear, good bear. I'm a good bear.
Good bear.
So, change the
You're a
topic.
great bear.
Call this whispering from Bangkok.
Well, I mean, yesterday the neighbors complained I was noisy.
Yeah, just call it whispering from Bangkok.
Whispering, whispering.
Yes.
How you been? How you been? How you been?
Whispers from Bangkok.
Yeah.
I've been good. I've
Hey,
been good.
we got a super chat from Eric L. $2. Archie, should we give two shits about Watches and Wonders? You know what? Watches and Wonders is going to be a big bullshit event. The reason I say that,
No, I
we
disagree
don't,
wholeheartedly.
nothing's
If you
available.
are a watch geek, if you're a watch enthusiast, that's the Super Bowl. That's the time that we are all very excited and we look forward to so many interesting things. I mean, if you don't care about the watches, if you ultimately are non-watch enthusiast and you just basically don't care anymore, well, then watches and wonders are not to your taste.
The
But
funny thing is,
definitely,
I remember years ago, Rolex watches it, well, it was Baselworld then. They would do releases, and it was kind of, it wasn't like, there seems to be a lot of pressure every year now, bigger and better releases.
do you actually, Archie, do you actually read the news about the watches? Do you have interest in it, or you kind of just...
I do. I love the watches. I was just talking to Dave this morning about
So
watches
Dave is
before I
Dave
came.
is your source of news as well, right?
He's my mini dealer.
All right. So what did Dave say? What's new with Dave?
He said that, hey, hey Arch, how you going? He said to me, look, as far as the watches go, he said there's been a little bit of movement. What's happened is, he said, brands like Omega are having so many price rises, nobody's buying their shit anymore. The boutiques are discounting. Vacheron is a brand that's in
Oh,
trouble.
hang on. Slow the truck down. You are telling me boutiques are discounting? That would be huge news. Are
Omega
you
boutiques. Well,
really?
it's in Australia. Yeah, but it's. He said it's not enough. It's nowhere near
No,
enough.
no, no. But that even anything that they are discounting and at boutique is a newsworthy. Um, I haven't heard yet in Canada boutiques discounting. To be honest with you. And to be very honest with you, I agree with Dave because they got to a price point that even if you get 25% off, it's still very expensive watch. Most of the Omega on the secondary market drops down to 50 off, maybe even 60 off.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's hard.
We got a super chat from our good friend JJ, the Watch Hangout, $5. Archie, your thoughts on Marcelo, the rabbi of Rolex? calling you a Medusa bulldozer baganosh after
Baba
you
Ganoush. Baba
manhandled
Ganoush.
Baba Ganoush after you manhandled his selfie stick in Bangkok. Well, it wasn't me who was manhandling his selfie stick. That was Luxy Poo. I never touched him. He
You never
smelled
touched
really.
Marcello's stick?
No, I never touched him.
All right.
And he was quite difficult to have on the stream yesterday. Like he keeps talking over the top of everybody. He wouldn't listen to my replies.
You were doing the
And
same
then
thing, Archie. You were doing the
and
same thing.
then and then when I had something to say, he's got to go. Oh, I got to go. He's just a total cunt. The guy is a total cunt.
Pablo says we blame Laxipu for everything, so let's just go with that narrative. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
So basically, we'll blame Laxipu for everything. All right?
Yeah. Luxy Poo had a great show this morning.
Good. I seen Dan gifted $50 for Laxipu. That's pretty nice
Yeah.
donation.
I mean, Luxy Poo was on thin ice. You understand this, don't you, Bear?
What?
If he's not bringing the bucks in, I gotta make some
Well,
cuts,
it's
Bear.
not Laxipu, my dear friend. It's you. You have to listen. What you fail to understand, if you're waiting for me and Laxi to bring the money in, you're in a lot of trouble. If I can bring money on my own, I'll be running my own live streams. I'm not a star.
Mm,
You're the star. You're
okay.
the one that people want to see. You're the one that people want to super chat. You're the one that's interesting. Got it?
I, I invited Roland out for dinner yesterday. He declined.
Okay. So maybe he's not around.
He's back. I said, why don't you bring your girlfriend and you come over for dinner?
All right.
He didn't want to do it.
But that's okay. So what? Ron is still a good guy, nice guy. He still supports Archieverse. I seen him in Dungeon. I seen him in Lux's show. He's doing good, man. He's good for you. Ron is a good
So,
guy, honestly. What you need to understand, I was just before. I did not know what time you start.
yep, sorry. Apologies.
You didn't post anything, so I
I
was
know. I
glancing.
didn't
Actually,
post.
after a long, long time, I was watching Tim Wright, your main competitor. Let's be honest. That's your true competition, right? You know
Yep.
what's your biggest problem, Archie? Your biggest problem is you are not engaged, and he is engaged. That's number one.
Hmm.
He brings the
Hmm.
topics. He makes the topics, and then people talk about it. Whatever topics they are, you need to bring the topics, and you need to be engaged. People actually want to listen to you for different reasons. There are some that think that you're a Medusa. There are some that think that you're a Hippos. There are some that think that you're a man-child. There are some
Yes.
that
What's a
think that
man
you
child?
are
What is a man child? Can I ask you that?
an immature man who never matured enough to become a real man. There are some people who think you might be a pontiff. There are some people who think you're funny. There are some people who think it's all shtick. But you're basically controversial, contradictory, and interesting. However, if you whisper, if you are not engaged, if you don't bring anything to talk about, it's just going to fade away. And I don't like to
Yes.
fade away, right? I
Mm.
paired with you for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is I paired with a superstar, okay? I paired with
Yeah.
you because you are ArchieLuxury. It's a cool thing to say, hey, listen, I am on the ArchieLuxury live stream, but take a look at your live streams maybe 6 months ago, year ago, and you'll notice very different energy, very different enthusiasm. Just as a note to you, what I think punters want. You got some super chats coming.
Okay, we got super chats. We got a super chat from our good friend. This is from Frank the Tank. Frank says $2. Roland is a good guy, but you have been rude to him. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Frank.
Well,
I love Frank.
listen, it's never too late. One apology can go really far, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm really sorry. Roland, I'm sorry, man. Let's go and hit the ground. He wanted to do some gonzo streaming with me.
Roland is a type of guy who is intrigued by meeting you, who was intrigued by spending some time with you. He's also a guy that really enjoys Luxy and his live streams. He often supported you financially. He was also he's a cool guy. Okay, let me be
He's very
honest. I
cool.
mean, you sometimes need to actually see a little bit further, a little bit beyond your bad mood.
So,
Yeah, you're just
yes.
sometimes in a terrible mood, eh?
Mm, mm.
You have another super chat from Ross Rachel Brady. Thank you, Ross.
Ross Rachel Brady, $5. Arch, thoughts on refilling toilet paper rolls at least twice a day in the women's. But actually, the funny thing is, before I started the show, I ran out of toilet paper. I had to go down to the front desk and
You
get
know,
more toilet paper.
Ross Rachel Brady, at one time, I was also janitor and cleaning washrooms at one short period of time. And I noticed the same thing. I also noticed that women can be very messy as well. One of the reasons why their washrooms use much more toilet paper is because they like to cover the seat, utilizing the toilet
Ah,
paper. So I get what you're saying, buddy. I completely understand. You have a super chat from Patel Philippe.
Patel Philippe, $5. Thoughts on the clip I sent to your WhatsApp? Let's have a look. I'm pulling it up now. Oh, let's have a look what happens here. Okay, fuck, what's this? Let's have a look. Do you want to see this, Bear?
Sure.
It may not be pretty.
Hey, it is what it is.
I know that didn't happen, but what I'm saying is, no, I know that didn't happen, but here, I would love it if my wife was able to buy me a fucking my my bumblebee. That'd be great. Yeah, man. You know, but I know that
Yeah, I
didn't.
think
Like,
the point was for you to actually watch and listen to it. So can you play this from beginning
money from your
because
fucking father
Patel, can you
or
stop?
your wife.
Can you stop?
Ridiculous the way it
Archie,
sounds.
can you
You understand?
stop? Okay. Patel Philippe, when he sends you this, he actually wants you to watch and listen, not to start and then go somewhere and get something to eat. So, would you mind please actually honoring his super chat? This is your main top donor, a person that is keeping us alive. I really want to honor super chats the way they are meant to be honored.
Here we go. He's tagged the spot.
Thank you.
No, and this what pissed me off because we know it's not true, but you know, I don't know. They say, oh, this is the way you like to troll you. This is the way you like to troll you. I go to. By the way, I went to Bangkok because I was invited to go there. And by the way, Lux called me and he actually confirmed to put me on the reception list. I was there on the reception list. You know, because you went there and you guys know that it was a dish for me there. I was supposed to go to that because he put me there. He just wanted to confirm if I go to Bangkok. I said I go. He put me there. Then he's turning the whole fucking persona to create a noise because I try to make money because I'm closing the restaurant for 5 days, by the way, and I'm going to Bangkok to see basically not him or Archie, but also to see you and to see Jamie and to see Dodger and to see Ronald. So I came to see you guys. Now, also, I knew I'm going to see you guys. What I did, I went to shops here. I bought present for each one of you guys. What he bought, he bought fucking dick. He didn't buy nothing for nobody. He didn't buy nothing to no fucking body. Why? Because he called himself the pontiff. Go fuck yourself with your fucking stupid pontiff name. You didn't buy nothing for nobody that support you all the time. Nothing. Didn't buy nada. Nothing. Nothing didn't buy. And then he go there. And why he go there? Of course he go there to make money. Because the money that he give Lux, you think he gave Lux all the money that he made in Bangkok? Fuck no. He didn't. He came there to make money. Yeah, I want to make money. And you know what? He did a hell of a money. You know why he did a hell of a money? Because he's staying home in the fucking hotel, eating fucking hamburger like a fucking cunt. And he doesn't spend a penny. Doesn't spend a fucking penny going outside. Nothing. I go outside with you guys to bars. You know, it's a $500, $700, another $500 per day. Spending. I'm making money, but I'm spending money. Making, but I spend. He's making money. What he's spending? Not spending. He doesn't spend fucking shit. More. I want to go to dinner. Who buy me dinner? Who buy me dinner? Let's have fun, you know. We're going to have fun. You will buy me food, and I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to entertain you. Buy me more. Where's dessert? Why not dessert? I want dessert. Give me. Let me see you what. Very nice. Too much food. More food. Give me more food. Yeah. Oh, what a fucking cunt. What a fucking asshole. I'm fucking believable.
Yeah, right, okay. Marcel, I've just started the clip, mate. My God, I've just started. I mean, you've already fucking smacking it, right? Okay.
All right, you get a point, Archie. You get a point. I think you're not going to pay the whole stream. You have another super. You will comment about this, obviously. You have a super chat from Patel Philippe.
Patel Philippe, $5. I think Marcelo does the best Archie impersonation.
No, that's Oishin. I have to disagree. Nobody does it better than Oishin. So what's your opinion on this Rolex Rabbi's temper tantrum there? What's going on?
I got to tell you, in all honesty, I mean, if he's so wonderful, he never mentions the fact that I agreed to go out on the Friday night. He comes out with $3 American.
Are you doing the 60 baht story again?
Yeah. How far can
you
go
change it to $3 now, so that's not the same. Good. I like that.
60. It's $1. Sorry, I apologize. I got the figure wrong. It's $1.65 American. $1.65.
All right. So
$1.65.
Did you hear what Marcellino was talking about?
He said I didn't buy any gifts for him. Well, what gifts? I didn't seem to get any gifts from him.
You're right.
And I got to be honest with you. What happened to his invite? As soon as he see Lux, he goes, "You are
What's
so
a Medusa,
fat."
by the way? What's a Medusa? What does he mean by that you're a Medusa?
Is a Greek. It comes from the Greek. It's a story. Medusa was a god who would turn people to stone.
I don't think he actually means that when he calls you Medusa. Medusa babusa. Super chat from Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank, $10. AC, have you been overindulged on your personal satisfaction? Us punters just need to know to give us a couple of hours of engaging entertainment. Some of us watching opposing streams too, but rarely super chat them.
By the way, just so you know, I just received information from my sources that Medusa is actually bloated jellyfish in Hebrew. So you're kind of like a big fat jellyfish to him. So you see what Frank the Tank is telling you. Let's see what he says, Archie. Let's pay attention.
AC, have you been overindulged on your personal satisfaction?
What do you think, Archibald?
Possibly.
Okay.
Frank, I took the advice from you. I met you in Melbourne, and I changed my life to your advice, Frank.
Well, how was that? Tell us about it.
Oh, I can't say it because it's confidential. But
Okay.
Frank is the guy who said, "Find happiness. You've got to find it. What makes you happy?"
Okay. So is Frank the founder of the Double Happiness?
No,
All right.
that's a Chinese cigarette company.
I think what Frank wants, he wants you to be engaged. They want you to kind of run it, not to have others run it for you. I think people are getting a little bit annoyed with me. You know that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, some are annoyed. Some think I'm actually too harsh on you. Some are saying that I am. There was one asshole who actually said that OC is nicer to Tim than I'm to you. But I am left with no options. I mean, you come on and you just whisper and you get disengaged and you have no topics. So I don't know what to do. What should I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do, Archie? What do you suggest I do? I'm
No, that's a
asking
fair point.
seriously.
You can only try your best, Bear. What can you do? Seriously, what the
Well,
fuck can you do?
I don't know. I'm asking you because honestly, people want you. They don't want me. What do I do? How do I give them Archie?
It's easier said than done, Bear.
Well, tell me about it. I know. I'm really trying to get you out of your shell and bring it back and give it to the
I was
punters.
swimming in the pool yesterday. You see that?
I couldn't really because mostly it was frozen and there was no sound. I mean, you did revise you actually
I
did
jumped in the
rewatch it.
pool about half a dozen times, Bear.
Yeah, I know, Archie. Really, Archie, this is what you think is going to save the show? Let's see what we have as a super chats, Archie, because they are very important to us.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Fella, $2. Tell Bear about the Gold Coast developer with the gold sub. Well, that story there, fella, what happened was, I'm trying to remember the developer. It was one of the big developers who went broke. He went broke. He had a French last name. I'm just trying to, it's one of the big developers who fucking went guts up. And he basically, he was, I advertised my gold sub. I was saying I may be interested in selling it. And I got to tell you something. It was a, he came to me and said, "Hey, I'm interested." I said to him, I said, "You know, the only thing that worries me is that you guys went bankrupt. I'm scared of the fucking, if I sell you anything, it needs to be cash because I don't need fucking anyone coming back to me. Because how do I get my money if you know, I don't want to be involved in your bankruptcy." And he's a bit of a cunt. He's just a bit of a shit about things. I just, they're just nasty stuff. Okay, just nasty. And it's, you know, this is the whole thing. These guys, that's the problem with the gold subs. It seems to attract that sort of element, real flashy, sort of people. She tracks that sort of element. So I said to him, mate, I'm a bit worried about whether you are even allowed to buy these fucking things. Super chat from Patel Philippe, $5. Okay, guys, I'm not here to listen to corporate interventions. Run the show, big boy.
Can you read that again?
Okay, guys, I'm not here to listen to corporate interventions. Run the show, big boy.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Corporate interventions.
Me talking to you what we need to do and doing all this boring shit with you. So who is the big boy?
That's me, isn't it?
So what is he telling you?
Run the show. Get the excitement happening.
Good. Glad. Okay, go for it.
We got a super chat from Apes, our good friend Apes. Bear, Sprite Oyster 2024 for 14,250. Do I buy it? Need Bear's opinion. Is it a steal? 14, let's work the currency out. 14,250 GBP to, that's 18,000 American, Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good price for a Sprite?
You know what? Apes, it's not a steal. It's a good price, especially in UK, because your prices tend to be always a little bit higher, which is normal. It could be amazing buy if this watch potentially gets discontinued.
I'm going to
But
put the
it,
echo on. I'll be back.
but it also can be not so great of a buy. Um, However, it's a fair price. I wouldn't call it steal. I would call it a fair price. If you want to take a chance, do it. I think it's a cool watch. I think it's very different. It's unusual. Rolex certainly was not expected to do something like that. Rumors are they might discontinue it, but then rumors are not something you can really rely on. I think it's even cooler if you actually are left-handed. So the watch even serves a further purpose for you. But even if you're not, I like wearing mine, and I have oyster. I had a Jubilee and I had oyster. I chose to keep oyster, which some people consider to be a mistake because Jubilee seems to be more in demand at the moment. The Jubilee is trending, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the watch. I like wearing it. It's kind of cool to wear it actually on the left hand with a crown facing the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the watch. I like the colors. I like the
No, you just
Jubilee.
wear it like a normal watch.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's a great watch. It's not a steal though, buddy. Honestly, it's just a good price. And the trending, I mean, if you watched the show yesterday, they were talking a little bit about the pricing and so on. Right now, the watches are trending down, no question about it. They've been trending down consistently for a while. Is that going to continue? Is there a certain point where it turns around? I don't know. I wish I do. But as it stands right now, there is a chance that will go further down. The only reason I'm saying this could be a winner chicken dinner is if you buy it and they get discontinued at Watches and Wonders.
Do you think that'll happen, Bear?
I don't know. I just said it's a rumors. Rumors are flying all around the whole line of watches that people are saying potential discontinuation of Rolex Pepsi, potential discontinuation of the left hand Sprite. Also, there is a talk about discontinuing all. Don't know more meteorite period. There is also talk about discontinuing what's it called? The Datejust with the motif dials. That's the rumor as well.
Yep. Okay. They
And
just
mhm.
I got to ask you, Bear.
Hmm.
What's the
Yep.
most exciting? Are they going to bring out a Coke? Everyone is saying, a lot of the forums, they've asked them,
Yeah,
what
that
is
seems to be the biggest excitement, right?
the Coke?
Of course, for the right reason, right? It's
Mm,
been many years since Coke has been discontinued. Obviously, we're talking about the aluminum bezel. It is a very iconic timepiece.
yeah,
A lot of people love it. I think there is a reason why people are excited. There is some signs that it's coming. They did um, patent the black and red bezel. They
yeah,
registered the patent, right? But that doesn't mean it's coming this year. It could come next year. It also could come in 2 years. Um, and it doesn't mean it's going to be in steel. It could be presented first in the white gold, or who knows. So there is no definite on that, and it never will be. Who could have predict left-hand Sprite? Nobody.
yes,
So, in all honesty, we will find out, and this is what I think makes the whole thing very exciting. Not knowing uh, and unpredictability from Rolex, excitement that creates. I
yeah,
know there's also haters. There are people who are saying, "Oh, big deal. They changed the color and so on." But it is a big deal because it's Rolex. It's a amazing brand, lifestyle brand that's gone and surpassed all the boundaries of horology, and it intrigues people way beyond our hobby.
yes, yes. It's an interesting hobby, but it is an interesting hobby, Bear. And it's kind of, I think it's kind of sad in some ways, Bear. Um, the hobby itself, there, fuck, so many people came in, speculators. They've got. Um, I got to be honest with you, Bear. It's been really tough to get the hobby back on track. Um, Collector, speculator, so many people.
When you say interesting hobby, what do you mean by that? What makes it so interesting? Like, why do you say that?
What else? What else has captured the world in recent times? You know what I mean? Like it's just exploded, Bear. Like watches, they
Uh,
were
Patel is
out of
uh, Patel is asking you to stop multitasking if you don't mind, because
no
you don't
worries.
know how to multitask.
No,
So fully focus on the show, or let's
yes.
just end it
I was just
and go clean
bringing.
up.
I was bringing something up from Hodinkee,
Okay.
and I was going to tell you that there's some exciting news with Tony Bennett. You know, Tony Bennett died,
Okay.
the
When
singer.
did that happen?
He's a fucking old guy. He dies.
No,
Old
but
people die.
when did he die? Like, why are you announcing that? Did he just die, or
Hey,
this is long?
no, he died ages ago. Okay,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
you know Tony Bennett. You know Tony Bennett, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Great singer. Great singer. I mean, that's been
Yeah.
a long time ago. Like you almost announce it like it just happened. So that's why I'm a little bit confused.
Well, he died in July last year. Okay. He had okay. Anyhow, they're actually selling some of his personal items off, and guess what brand he owns a few of there? He's got some Cartier he wants to sell. Well, the estate wants to sell.
Hmm.
What do you
Can we
think of
have a
that?
link for? Can we have a link for that?
Yeah, a link for who?
That.
Whose debts?
That. To take us both. Link for that,
Sorry?
please. Link for that. That. DEATH. To take us
Yeah.
both. Hmm.
Okay. I don't understand. I'm lost.
That's okay. You're
Here we
bringing the
go.
cutting edge news, Archie. Cutting edge news.
And if you have a look at what he had there,
All
they were
right.
pretty mediocre watches, don't you think? They weren't that really special.
All right. Let's see what he had. Give us a little retrospective on that, Archie. Thank you for doing that.
Okay, what do you think of this?
What, Archie? Talk to me.
Gold day date. Day date on the screen here now. This
Mm-hmm.
is from the estate of Tony Bennett. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Rolex day date. Now the question is, see, they didn't even go into this article here confirming it was factory diamonds or Rolex. We want to know what more about the diamonds, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
So this watch here, what's this? Is this factory or not factory?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe article says something about it.
Okay. Then we've got, he had this watch here. Look at this. This is a Cartier Pasha to Tony. Thanks, Frank Sinatra. Look at that. Frank Sinatra gave him a Cartier Pasha. Frank Sinatra gave him that. What do you think of that? That's not bad, is it? Cartier Pasha. There was an Ebel. Okay, look at this. This is a, it's not just a, it's a gold, it's a gold, solid gold Ebel. Look at this little mementos for Tony. A Cartier. Look at this. Look at the engraving. Tony Gaga. That's from Lady Gaga. Relationship. Look at that, Bear.
Archie, drop the link for Narc. He wants to chat with me. I missed it.
Sure. Let's get. How is Nike Poo? How is he going? I
I
really
don't
want
know.
to hear about
But
Nike. I'm
keep
just
going.
flipping.
It's a good content. I'm enjoying.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that these watches that were there, this is a lot of cast off crap, really, isn't it, or not?
I don't know. You tell me, Archie. You're the pontiff. I'm just
Was there
disciple
anything really
following you.
meaty there? What do you think? Anything meaty there? I suppose the president, but they didn't even answer. I mean, Houdinki didn't even answer whether this watch is factory diamonds. I mean, that's the important thing, don't you think?
I personally, from this collection, it indicates to me that he wasn't really watch enthusiast, but he had a couple of nice pieces and he enjoyed wearing watches at his
And
time.
he liked freebies. He liked freebies.
Well, everyone likes freebies. At that time, at that
If
age,
you were that famous, what would you give me, Bear?
Pepsi probably, so you can actually experience watch that I think is the coolest watch in the world.
Yeah.
I really think Pepsi is my favorite watch. So I don't know exactly which one, but Pepsi, definitely ceramic. I think. I mean, I remember when you were in Melbourne or
Yes.
Sydney, wherever, and
Yes.
you were trying it on, and I think you really enjoyed it. You loved it. You're just
Yeah,
very
that was in
intimidated.
Sydney. Yes. It was a
Yeah,
nice watch.
very nice.
It was a really cool watch.
Hmm.
Expensive, but really cool.
Yeah, that's something I noticed that you are immediately commenting on pricing these days.
Mm.
Well, that's probably your stick because you always try to get the budget watches, luxury budget goods.
Budget.
Hmm.
Budget watches, Bear.
Yes,
Budget watches, Bear.
yes, Archie, budget watches.
Is it that obvious? I want budget.
Yeah, it's always been like that.
Interesting.
You never really went for the hottest and hype. You always
Mm.
try to look at the angle of getting best possible value on something that can be perceived luxury. You are happiest when you get the piece or something that might be perceived as get the fuck out of my way at a really low price. That's your
Yeah.
ultimate grail. Your grail is not really a best watch. Your grail is something you could buy really cheap and people would say, wow, that's really hot. No, not hot, but that's amazing value for that watch. That excites you.
Yeah, value does. Value is an important thing, Bear. It's very tough to pay full retail for shit. I got to tell you, Bear.
Well, with the ways that things have changed on the secondary market when Rolex and Patek and APs and maybe some other watches temporarily were selling actually higher than the retail on the secondary market, that kind of threw off your gig, if you want to be honest with that, because I think your whole concept when you started your channel was how to actually get
Get
luxury
stuff at bang
goods
per buck.
right for a pennies on a dollar. And at that time, you actually could have done. You did some interesting things. You did buy some really good pieces at a good price. But you know what? Then it became very difficult to do that, right?
Yes, it
And
became harder.
right, I enjoy different segments of your YouTube career. I mean,
You know what? You know what? My brand has been the biggest letdown, Bear,
tell me.
as far as value retention goes. JLC.
Well, JLC has never been a watch for. JLC has never been a watch that. Well, what? Explain when you say that. I need to understand exactly what you say.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it's a brand that had so much potential. The
Mm-hmm.
watchmaker's watch. It was,
Mm-hmm.
really fantastic piece to have. And the reality is, they're actually, you buy a JLC, they won't
Mm-hmm.
give much discount. You buy, I mean, if you're a rookie, right? Say you're coming into the hobby and you don't want a Rolex. So you think, I want something a little bit better. So you say, okay, I'm going to get a JLC. It's a good brand, but you're going to be handed your asshole on a steel plate if you need to get out of that watch.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that they just don't seem to have, like, the Polaris line, great watches, but they really sink really fast.
Right.
Uh, the master compressors, all those there, their sports watches never really were super popular. And you told me that. Remember, I was looking at that gold JLC. You said,
Right.
Arch, this is a compromise. Do you really want this? That's what you said to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I did like the watch. Never, I'll be honest with you. That watch, I did not have anything against it, but for me, it seemed like a compromise.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very nice watch, but it's you really got to look at these things and say, what the fuck is going on? They the retail price, the secondary market, it wasn't much more than it was a similar price to a no date sub there.
Right.
And retail wise, it would have been big money, really big money. And
I
that
want to
brand
ask you
disappointed.
something. In your opinion, when I think about Jeju I
Yeah.
think one of the problems is they have never really defined their lines. I think the only true icon and recognizable watch, at least for me and majority of the people, from Jeju is Reverso.
Hmm.
Everything else is kind of you have to be Tim Masso to actually get into it, and
Yeah.
I don't think that indicates as a good thing for the brand
What's
because if
happened
it's
to his
very
collection? Is he buying shit again?
because if it's very niche, if it becomes very niche, I don't see it as a success for the brand.
No,
I don't think that anything that we brand, anything that we sell, anything that's business, we don't want anything to be niche, right? We want it to
no.
exceed. We want Hermes success. We want Louis Vuitton success. We want Mercedes success. We want Rolex success. We want a lifestyle brand success. Gégé Lecoultre truly is, um, you call it watchmakers uh, watch brand. I call it
Yeah.
geek brand. It's a really, you have to be ultimate geek to get your satisfaction in going after these watches. And there's only so many geeks. It's a limited supply of the geeks, right? You got some super
Hmm.
chats coming in, Archibald.
Super chats. We got a super chat from SR Bell 67, $2. AC ask Bear why he won't say China man.
Because it's
China man.
racist remark. It's disrespectful to Chinese people, and
Yeah.
I just don't know why you keep pushing that. It's very.
I don't understand it. What's the big deal? It's
Sir
it's
Bell,
it's
you know why I don't want to say it, okay? You
shit.
don't need to ask. It's not
We
even
don't want to
funny.
have anything. It's not even funny at all.
Just try to be funny. I always enjoyed
Yeah.
your funny super chats, man. Please, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super
We
chat
got
from the smartest man in Australia.
Pete
$5.
Clan, $5. Remember that the pontiff was given a choice of a Rolex at retail. He chose a sub over a GMT. Yeah, that was unfortunately the sub was stolen, but that I don't regret that. That was a beautiful watch, Bear.
Well, were you really given the choice, or was it kind of like, yeah? If I remember correctly, that was from MJT, right?
MJT, yeah, I could buy anything, and I didn't want to
Yeah,
push the
but you
friendship.
you you did it so that Marco can get. Wait a second. What was the story? I'm trying to remember. I think you did a favor for someone to get a GMT.
Well, and I asked. He said, "What do you want?" And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, I would like a sub.
Right. Yes, exactly, Big Tony. He didn't want to show greed, and he was respectful to MJT. Right. I remember now. For sure.
Well,
That's the good thing about Archie. I respect that. I'll be honest with you.
and I like the sub. The sub was a great watch. I think the sub still is. I've got a bluesy on my wrist as we're talking. They're a superb watch, Bear.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Sub. Sub and GMT are my two favorite lines from Rolex, so you're not going to see argument from me, right?
It's
So going back to this. Before we go back to that, I have a question for you. But we
sure.
have wonderful Mr. Valju super chat.
Mr. Valjoux, $10. Archie, the symptoms you're describing is based on the fact that the watch industry is not based to cater to collectors, and even more so, collectors that flip occasionally.
Yeah, he's very right about that, Archie. I'll be honest with you. Um, Even AD, my AD, he could not even care less about the collectors or watch enthusiasts. That's not where they sell most of their stuff. Believe it or not, majority of the watches are not sold to the people here in the chat and in the Archiverse. Majority of the watches are sold to people who have no idea who you are, who have
Yeah.
no idea about the whole geeky side of our hobby. So
Mm.
yeah, that makes sense. Going back to the geeky side of our hobby, I really loved at one time you were serious of what does this watch say about you. So
Yes.
how about you tell me? You see a guy wearing that gold Jejelakut compressor that you were considering buying. You see it on the wrist. What does that watch tell us about that person? Give me a little bit of your
I think
retrospective on
it says
that.
there he's a little bit cocky. He reminds me of Fella. Fella. I think Fella would be the guy. little bit cocky, a little bit rude, a little bit informed, egotistical. That's what I think it says, Bear. And, you know, I think it's someone who buys it, they paid the big money, and they struggle to understand how the hobby works. The buying and the selling, Bear. Without those two components, it's not going to work.
I would like to actually try to do like you did in the olden days. I really want you to elaborate a little bit. I want you I understand that you tying up to the fella and all that. I appreciate that, but I want you to give me a little more. What does this Zezula could say tells about the person wearing it? I want you to take us into Archie's mind. I want you to do what you have done so well in the past.
See, I think this is somebody who doesn't necessarily buy a BMW or Mercedes. They buy a Maserati or an Alfa Romeo, something that is problematic to resell. They're not so they're cutting edge design without concern of the consequences, Bear. Risk taker.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's someone who, if they were buying a suit, they would buy the brown, the off color. They would buy brown, saying, "Hey, I'm going to buy brown." They're going to be the person who buys the brown shoes instead of the black shoes. They are the person who goes rose gold instead of yellow gold.
Mm-hmm.
They're off. They're off it. They're off on a tangent. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Do
think
you
you.
see? Do you see that? Would you like if you see a guy wearing that watch? Would it cross your
Oh, it's
mind?
a
Would you
beautiful
want?
watch.
Would you wonder if he bought that from AD brand new, or
Mm.
would you like how what would you will your process of thinking be? How would you what would go through your mind?
How would you work it out? How would you determine that, Bear? That's what you're saying to me, correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get out of you.
How would you determine how this person has bought this watch? And the answer, Bear, is simple. You know how you would tell Bear?
I'm waiting, Archie.
You would look at his accessories, his car. If he's
Hmm.
somebody who's driving a Camry or a Skoda or a Volkswagen Passat,
Hmm.
I don't think he bought it at retail.
Right.
If he's somebody who's flamboyant and avant-garde and he's got a French wife,
Hmm.
then it's somebody who would have bought it at retail.
Interesting. Would you
Mm.
respect more the guy that has a French wife and is avant-garde and bought it at retail, or the guy who's driving Skoda and is not avant-garde and bought it from Dave at the bottom dollar? How would you look at
You've
those two
always got to
guys?
respect the guy who pays retail, Bear.
You have
He
to.
keeps this he keeps this industry going. Without that person, this industry would collapse.
Interesting. You mentioned the French
Everybody.
wife. Why,
Mm.
why French wife? What is that like? What's the thought behind it?
Oh, just that, you know, she can't be micromanaged.
Is it okay
It,
if she's from Quebec and she's French
yeah, yeah,
Canadian,
definitely.
or it
Yeah,
has
yeah,
to be the French? Mm.
no, no, you can do that.
So any French, any French.
She's really difficult to live with. That's what I'm trying to say, Bear. She'd be difficult to live with.
Yet he chose that.
She wouldn't always have dinner ready for you. I'm going out. I got to go out with my friends. Oh, what about our life? Oh, I'll be back.
Interesting.
They
Interesting.
spend too much. You know, they buy a pair of shoes. Oh, I thought you were going grocery shopping. Yeah, I was, but I found a great pair of shoes instead. Okay,
Yeah,
what are
I
we going to
see.
eat this week?
What kind of car would this guy drive?
So
This
he would say, "What are we going to eat this week?" And you know what she would say?
tell me.
"What are you going to fuck this week?"
Interesting.
What sort of car? Citroen, Renault.
Wow, you're in a French
Peugeot.
mode. Wow. So
Yeah,
are you kind of looking at fella as that kind of French guy?
he's very stylish, fella.
Do you think you have to be thin to be that kind of guy? You cannot be a fat fuck to be that kind of guy.
Oh, you can never be a fat fuck. These luxury brands, they don't allow fat fucks in. Do you realize that? Like
I
brands
do, I
like
do. Trust
Ralph
me, I.
Lauren,
Mhm.
Armani, um, they only go up to 2XL.
You know, when I was working at one time at a luxury brand hotel, that
Yes, sir.
I was advised that I should lose some weight.
Who told you that?
I'm not joking. I'm serious.
What?
So yeah, I know what you mean. The portrayal of the luxury,
What are
and
they? Who told you that?
well, I'm not
Let's
going
get
to
let's
go
get
into those details. I'm just telling you. Trust me on my word.
and you've been thin ever since.
Good one, Archie. Uh, yeah. So basically,
You look quite healthy. I
the
saw
way
that photo.
you, the way you picture the successful guy that bought this watch at retail. So he's driving Citroen, the
Yeah.
French car. He has a French
No,
wife.
she's driving the Citroen. She's driving the
Oh,
Citroen.
and what is he driving?
He drives it. He drives a Maserati. Maserati.
Oh, okay, okay. Now it actually makes a whole lot of sense. All right,
Because
and
he's used to massive depreciation. See, the Maserati would depreciate just
mhm.
as badly as the JLC does. But he says, well, that's the price of ownership. You want cool things, it costs something. He doesn't
Yeah,
care.
yeah, 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 yeah. I can see
He's
that.
got a French wife who doesn't shave under her armpits.
I see.
I
I
wasn't going to
see.
say that, but we'll say that. A French wife who doesn't shave under her armpits, but she's lasered on the other parts.
How does he
You know
make
why
a
she does that,
living?
Bear?
How
You
does
know
he
why she
make
does that?
money? Is he old money? Is he new
Oh no, he's an
money?
architect. He's an architect, Bear. Some bullshit sort of thing, you know?
So he has like a company. He's an architect.
Interior
His office
design,
does his
architect.
office has a very high ceilings and stuff like that.
Mm,
He has a very
it was
attractive
his dad got him the
receptionist.
job, Bear. His dad got him the job, okay?
Does he have a very attractive receptionist?
Well, they don't have receptionists anymore.
No? Okay.
You
So
don't
how
need
does
that.
that work?
They're going to do their own typing, Bear.
They do their own typing. Well, there's got
Mm,
to be somebody at the entrance to the company to greet the people, right?
yeah, yeah. He's look, I got to tell you, the guy who buys a JLC um, master compressor in gold at full, they buy that.
Did he even ask for the discount when he bought it? Did he even ask for the discount when he bought it, you think?
He does get it. He does.
He does
He'll get
ask.
10%. He'll get 10% there.
Why would he do that? Why does he even care if he's so
He,
suave, so cool?
everybody cares.
Everybody cares. I see.
Everybody cares, man. Do you
Hmm.
care? Do you care? Let me ask you that.
I am definitely not that guy. I can tell you that with certainty. I care. Oh, fuck. I care about every penny. I don't have
Right.
luxury not to care. So, besides all this, what you said, now, can we describe the fat fuck who actually buys this after the guy with the French wife got bored and basically sold his watch to a dealer
Hmm.
and could not care less that he lost 50% of the money or more. And now this dealer is gonna sell it to a fat fuck who aspires to be like this tall, thin architect guy with a French wife who doesn't
Yeah, who
shave
wears
her
2XL.
face.
Wears 2XL. And you know what? They also buy those shirts that are slim fit. Have you heard of slim fit? I want fat
No,
fuck. I want fat fuck fit.
you won't. And then give me the story about this guy. Give me the story about his car. Give me a story about his wife. Give me a story about him.
Like
I
he's
wanna
the
you
sort
to
of
do.
person there. When he's buying a car, he goes for the cream interior.
That's the fat fuck, the one that's buying that's on the secondary
No,
market.
I don't know. This is the first guy.
Well,
The
I'm
guy
done
on
with
the
the
second.
first guy. I'm done with the first guy.
Right,
I
right.
want you to do the retrospective of the fat fuck who now
The fat
bought
fuck
on the
lives in
secondary
fantasy
market.
land. He likes to talk about how what the retail price is, not what the secondary market price is. The
Hmm.
fat fuck has a second-hand BMW, right? He talks about retail price. He doesn't actually mention what the dealer would give him now for it. Fat fuck, fat fuck.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
At a sale, he would buy some clothes that don't fit because he's going to lose the weight. It's gonna be great, Bear.
Hmm. Well, tell us about the work he does, the wife he has. Give us a little bit similar story like you did for the French
He's
candidate.
aspirational, Bear. He's aspirational, right?
Hmm.
Instead of having the French wife, he just jerks off to porn, Bear.
Hmm.
The French wife is so cool. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you know Canadian French is more pure than French French?
No, I did not know that. What do you mean by pure? That's part I don't understand.
Canadian French is more like Old English. It's like how French used to be
Oh no,
200 years.
Canadian French is fucking not that. If you're talking language,
Mm.
it's a hillbilly French. Are you kidding me?
Hillbilly French.
Oh yeah, definite hillbilly French for sure.
Mm. What? Okay, fair enough. The French, Bear. You like the French, don't you?
Love the French, of course.
Macaron. I love French President Macaron. Macaron.
He's a bit weird for my taste and his
Why is he
politics.
weird?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of his politics.
I think he's right wing, isn't he?
Right wing? No.
He's left wing.
There is no right wing in Western Europe. That's fucking joke.
Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Uh,
Thank you.
Compared to Australia and Canada, everyone is better than us. Our governments are fucking beyond left wing. But no,
Mhm.
there's no conservatives anywhere in
His
power.
wife was his teacher. You know that? I've got a lot of respect for that guy.
Why? Because of his wife being a teacher?
No, he was a student. His wife was his teacher, and he married her.
Okay.
She's 23 years older than him.
I have no issue with that. I actually think she's quite attractive woman.
She's a very nice woman.
And to me, that's not a problem. When I was talking, I'm not biggest fan of his. Was not about his personal
Mm.
life. I'm rather talking about his
His
politics.
politics.
Yeah,
Mm. He's an EU member.
yeah.
You're more of a fan of a De Gaulle, aren't you? You're De Gaulle, French president.
Oh yeah, yeah. Absolutely, the goal is one of the best.
Or Mitterrand? Did you like Mitterrand?
François Mitterrand was okay. I'm not against Mitterrand. Margaret Thatcher in UK also was someone I respected.
Mm.
I lean to that.
Yeah, yeah. I got to be honest with you, Bear. The whole watch scenario. I remember they really didn't have that many new releases. They had the range, and that was it. Do they have to have new releases every year? It's become a fashion brand. Everything's become fashion cycle.
What do you mean by that, Archie?
Like You used to buy a nice watch as a lifetime achievement. That was, you bought one really nice watch.
Okay. But even in the past, they were doing new releases. You do realize that. It just was not publicized as it's today.
Yeah. Mm.
It's it wasn't like there was no social media, internet, and so on. But they were coming. How else would you look back and see development of the watches, right, and how they evolved?
Yes. Do you miss the Basil world? This Watches
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
Wonders?
do. But Watches and Wonders is taking a place. I mean, to me, it's a very special time. I always enjoyed Basel World
Yes.
since I've been
Have
into
you been to
hobby. And
Switzerland? Have you been to Switzerland?
no, never been to Switzerland. I would love to visit Switzerland. Um,
Mm.
I I did consider that, but probably not during anything like this because I think it's stupidly expensive, and I don't know. I don't know.
One of the worst places to buy watches is actually Switzerland.
Yeah, I heard that from Swiss people. They said the same thing. I guess because of the taxes or something of that nature.
Lack of discounting, Bear.
All right. We have
We
a
got a
super
super chat
chat
from Mr.
from
Valju.
Mr. Valju. Yes.
We got a super chat from Mr. Valju. Arch, the affluent fat fuck, goes up market and has his suits tailor made. By the way, remember the only normal people on this planet are you the ones you don't yet. You don't know yet.
Probably he meant that. Yeah.
Mm.
Mr. Valju is dressed remarkably well.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he has the aura of success when you see him.
Yes, he does. You've met him.
Yeah, and he
We met him
speaks
in New
very
York.
eloquently. He sounds educated. He sounds distinguished. He's
Yeah.
dressed really cool. Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. I am. I'm a big fan of Mr. Valjoux.
Valjean. Yeah, great guy. Fantastic guy. Um, he's really lovely, Bear.
Yeah,
He's one of the nicest people I've met, actually.
yeah,
Ah, Bear, those were the days. I remember meeting him in Dallas, Texas. We jumped in. We had to go around and pick him up. I was with AD Never Calling in a big Hummer limousine, and we
yeah. I
had to
love
go and
those
pick up Mr.
pictures. That was the Texas segment of your first American trip was awesome. The shot, the 80 Never Calling, the Mr. Valjoux, some really great guys, and yeah, it was a lot of fun for you there. They treated you really nice.
Yes, yes, those were the days, Bear. Those were the days, my friend. Um, I kind of feel sometimes in the whole watch industry, um, it's moving a way I don't really like. Okay, it's moving very, it's
When you speak and you use these kind of things, try not to speak generally and just do the lines. When you say it's moving in a way that you don't like, immediately follow up with explanation.
what I mean
That's
is that
when
I don't like the way everything's become so sort of fashion fickle. Um, everything has become so serious now. The brands, the
well, cousin
watches.
Angelic has a
Um,
suggestion for you.
it's that.
If you're tired of that, just switch to Thomas the Train for a while, Arch.
Okay.
Maybe the watches are not your gig. You have a super chat from Alibaba 69, $2.
Alibaba 69, $2. Von Gogh. What's Von Gogh?
I don't know.
I think the thing is with the watches itself there, it gets to a stage where I was having this discussion with the guy Johnny Bangkok, and I said to him, "Does He said to me the big thing that stops him with the Daytona is the fact that a lot of people like Marcelo buy these things, and it doesn't make the man bear. The man makes the watch, not the watch makes the man. What do you think, Bear?
I don't know what I think about that. Watch doesn't make the man, man what makes the watch. So basically, you're telling me if you're like a really cool guy and you're really, really fantastic man, and you wear squale, you're gonna make squale really cool. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it just doesn't work, does it? Hey,
I think you maybe just stay away from stereotypes and stay away from um demagogy and to stay away from fucking
I gotta tell you, Bear.
just
The thing with the
talk like a
watches
normal
is,
person, okay? Calm down and just let's talk like a normal people, all right?
tell me this in your life, if you had to start from zero again, right? How, what bases would you want to cover? You've been in the hobby, you've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, you've seen massive rises, you've seen falls. If you
Oh
were
yeah,
starting,
yeah.
if you were starting in the hobby, would you be a one and done, or would you want a collection?
No, no, I did enjoy. I enjoyed the collector's journey, and I enjoy being into watches, and I love our hobby. And to be honest with you, I love talking about the watches. I love actually I love, I love meeting other enthusiasts, and for me, it's partially difficult with you, Archie, because you're less and less interested in watches. I love talking about the watches. I love talking about the hobby. I like to talk about the industry. I like, um, for me, I wouldn't change a thing. Maybe I would change you a
Yeah.
little bit and get you a little more intrigued by watches. And I start to question: are you even interested in watches any longer, or it's a more just a task?
I always love watches, Bear.
I don't know.
Haven't you seen the stuff I've bought lately?
Yeah,
That
it
break
starts to.
you gotta,
I wonder. I wonder. I gotta be honest with you. That's the thing that I don't fully understand you sometimes. I try. I genuinely try. I care about you. I love you. Um, and I always enjoyed your content from Archie Luxury and so on. I
yes.
loved your reviews. But I think you becoming a little bit cynical when it comes to hobby. Pretty much everything kind of it's summarized with it's expensive. You are not showing interest in anything new. You are not excited by anything. You are pretty kind of repetitive with watches. You are a little bit redundant when it comes
Passive
to it.
aggressive.
No, no, this is not even criticism. This is just trying to understand you. I'm not giving you a hard time. It's okay if someone falls out of the hobby. That happens.
Yeah.
I've seen people. I had a very good friend uh,
Yes.
who is still a friend who simply doesn't talk about watches anymore.
What is this?
But
Not Paul? Is it
what?
our
No,
friend
no,
Paul?
no. The friend I have here in my life.
Yes.
Um, Curado Galizia, super chat.
Colorado, Galicia, $2. This is starting to sound like a breakup.
No, no. I
Oh,
love Archie. I always said I'll always be with Archie. If Archie doesn't need my assistance on a panel, that doesn't really matter. I will help him in other ways. It's I've been with Archie before I was panelist. I've been with Archie as a panelist.
I want to
I
show you
consider.
something I like there. Let me show you something I do like.
Mhm.
Can I bring up a watch on the screen? I do like Bear.
By the way, please, I find that insulting comparing me to the rancher. I would never ever do to Archie what Rancher does. Let's clarify that ever. So I
What do
don't
you
know
think of
who
this
you
bit?
are, Mario Siaven. I'm just letting you know, Rancher and I are very different type of people.
This is a new Timex Q they've released. It reissued from 1971. Now it's quartz, okay, so you got to get over that hurdle. But is that not is that not funky? What do you think of that, Bear?
Um, there's there's a boulevard that looks like that I would rather buy if I'm considering that type of shader. There is a boulevard, the quartz boulevard. They do. Is it a boulevard or Tissot? Who did the high quality quartz in that design? I don't know. I am not. I would never buy that. No,
The thing is,
that's that
Bear,
that's not for me. That's not for me.
an official retail price of $180.
Yeah.
This is I think the problem with this watch here, it's a disposable watch, isn't it? It's not worth repairing, is it?
No, no. This is disposable watch. May I suggest that we cut the show shorter tonight? This is kind of not really. Maybe another half an hour, and we wrap it up. What do you
We can
think?
do anything. I don't mind, Bear.
Okay, just it's energy is low. Superchats are not happening. Um, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's going in the right direction. Yeah, thanks, Baron Dissot. Yeah, that's the show. That's the watch I was thinking about. Thank you for helping me.
I got to tell you, I like this, Bear. I like this Timex.
No, 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 no. Boulevard Mill Ship is different thing I'm talking about.
Okay, okay. I got to tell you, Bear. Let's have a look here. Okay, seriously. I'm surprised you don't embrace this one, Bear. This is a no. You don't like it. Nothing. Does nothing for you.
No.
How about this? I'll show you something else amazing here, Bear. This is a Chinese. Have a look at this, Bear. Look at this dial. What do you think of this dial? Isn't this beautiful? Now, you may not like the brand, but look how that pattern is done. Is that not
Mm-hmm.
amazing?
Yep.
Look at this. I don't know if you saw there was a video on YouTube which showed you how AP does their dial on the AP, but this is pretty damn amazing stuff, Bear.
You have a super
What do you
chat
reckon?
from Vincent George, $5. Thank you,
Vincent
Vincent.
George,
Much
five
appreciated.
dollars. What about focusing on vintage for a while? The draw of birth year watches, how it can be a money pit for the unprepared, etc. Warnings and guides. I got to tell you, I've never really liked birth year watch things. The problem is the birth year watches. You're going to be left if you're going to spend serious money, it's going to be serious vintage, GMT or Submariner plastics. See, the problem is when you're hunting vintage down, you're better off to go for a good example, not for one made in a certain year. What do you think, Bear?
Sorry, I didn't listen, Archie. Can you
When you're
repeat?
buying a birth year, if you're buying vintage, you always look for the condition, not for one that's a certain year.
I'm the wrong guy to ask about the vintage. I avoid that like a plague. I really don't like vintage watches. I don't like the quality of them. I don't like vintage watches. Period. They don't appeal to me at all. I'm not. My love for the watches. They have to be modern from the perspective of materials, quality of build, and so on. I do like some vintage design, but I like that reinterpreted with with the sapphire crystal, with the high quality movement, with the high quality bracelets, with the so that's when I enjoyed the vintage appeal. But the vintage is kind of like for people who are like understanding it a little better, and it's a more of the appreciation of the art of horology. Uh, for me, I don't really enjoy that. It's not my cup of tea. I do like to listen knowledgeable people talking about it. I like to see how brands evolve, how certain lines evolve. Certainly, that's kind of cool and interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, never been in the vintage. How about you?
The big problem with vintage with me is I had so many great pieces that I sold cheap. So I find it very hard to come back. I had a number of beautiful vintage pieces, which the other thing too with vintage is it's very hard to live with. You can't, if you, the value in vintage is often in the dial and the condition being so good. So as soon as you start wearing it, you're detracting from it. It doesn't have a lot of the modern seals and things like that there. So it's always a bit of a compromise. I had a few vintage. I don't know if you remember that Vacheron I had, the 6405. You know that Vacheron? I bought it cheap, right? Bear, do you remember that Vacheron I had? I had photos of it all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And the big problem with that watch was it was really fucking small. Okay.
Right, the 34
And
millimeter one.
hey, Mike the Snake, great to have you on.
Hey, Archie.
Hey, man.
I guess
It's
the term they don't make them like they used to doesn't really apply to watches as far as quality goes.
no, I mean, look, the problem is this: is a lot of these vintage watches, Bear. You got to look after it. Like I had a few pieces lately, and they fog up. Condensation. If you're in a hot environment, they will fog up real quick. And if you continue wearing it when it fogs up, it'll fuck up. It's just a pain in the ass, Bear. Pain in the ass. And you never had any desire to have vintage, Bear?
No, no, I explain my
Because your
point of
price
view.
point, you could afford good vintage. You could afford really good vintage.
No, I don't like vintage. I explain why I don't like it.
Yeah. What is vintage for you? There's a number of criteria. They got neo vintage, like in the Rolex case, you would say anything plastic that is vintage, like a 1680, 5513. That's vintage. Anything that's sapphire, but not
I
ceramic.
really prefer my watches. I prefer my watches to be new built, new watches. I have no interest in neo vintage or vintage.
I was
Both.
looking at birth year Submariners a while back, and they're very highly priced. And man, when you go back that far, you just look at the quality of the links of the bracelet and the bracelet lat, the latch. It's all just, I mean, watches have only just gotten better and better over time. They've gotten more solid. They've gotten they've better. Sometimes it takes a version or two to get it right. Like with the sub, they went with the maxi case and then finally landed on the 41, which I think is the perfect sub. Um, but the pre-ceramic subs were pretty perfect. There wasn't really anything to be done to them, and
You have a super chat, Archie.
they go back pretty far.
Super chat. We got a super chat here. We got a super chat for Big Sal, $10. Hello, gents. Please compare your Patek 5167 to the overseas Vacheron Constantine overseas. The overseas feels like a much more substantial piece. I've owned both and feel a bit disappointed with the 5167, especially at the price point. What do you
Well,
think, Bear?
I think I'm qualified to respond to this, as I was the owner of the Vacheron C Overseas Blue Dial, uh,
My grandpa,
300,
right?
and I own a Patek Philippe 5167 now. I actually, Big Sal, I know exactly what you're saying. Definitely, I have to agree with you that overseas feels more substantial. Um, Also, I think movement is nicer on overseas than on Patek Philippe. Let's be honest, three, having a bracelet, rubber, and strap is also superior to the Patek Aquanaut. Um, my love for Aquanaut here is more about design, how it actually looks on my wrist. I think it wears nicer on my wrist. It's a little more suitable for it. It's a thinner watch. Case shape is more attractive to me. And the brand is superior. So, being a snob, watch snob, it appeals to me to have a Patek Philippe on a wrist more than having a Vacheron overseas. I'm not going to lie about it. So, yes, it is more substantial. It has a Geneva Seal movement. It has a Geneva Seal case. It has the most beautiful dial in the business, but it wears a little bit awkwardly big. Um, and even though people claim that it has amazing bracelet, I actually think modern Rolex has a better bracelet. So those are some of the things that I noticed on that. So it's really up to what is important to you.
Fair point there. And we got a super chat from Vincent George, $5. I turned 40 last month and bought a birth era Speedy from 1989. Box papers, 1450 bracelet, all original, been looking for ages. Yeah, birth era. What do you think of that idea, Bear?
See, it's interesting when you talk about the speedies. I Even the brand new speedy is not really. It doesn't really feel, and don't take this wrong. It doesn't really feel like a high end luxury watch. It feels more like a tool watch. They kind of kept that feel and look of the speedy throughout the era. Um, Maybe just most recent version of Speedy has an improved bracelet to a point that you actually can appreciate it. So I would often tell people avoid Speedy as your first luxury watch because you might get very disappointed. It's not going to impress you.
A
If
lot of
you're
people,
looking,
they
if you're
don't like
looking,
the Speedy as a first watch because it's not automatic.
well, not being automatic is okay. I'm talking more about the way it looks and feels. It's not very luxurious. So from that
Mm.
perspective, I can see that if you like Speedy, the vintage Speedy might be a thing for you, and it might not. It might be something cool. And I like the idea of era, as Archie says, era, because you're not focused on a specific year. You're kind of giving a tribute to the decade, let's say, when you were born and so on. So it's cool. It's cool.
We got another super chat from Mr. Valju, $5. $5. As the proud owner of a Speedmaster 105 012 321 movement. Now you know whose watch this was, Bear. This was Rancher's watch. He bought it from Rancher. I
Three
just
two three two one. Is that a Ed White or just a 321?
well, this is the
321
321.
is original moon watch. That's the original moment of the moon watch.
Yeah, yeah. They all started with the 321, and then they're all derivatives of the 321, right?
I wouldn't call them
Well, they went to
derivatives.
a 861, which was a
These
hand
moments are
chronograph.
completely different from three
Oh,
to one.
really? Okay, okay. I learn something new every day.
I just pumped $3,000 into a major restoration done right. It is a beautiful work of art. Look at that.
Exactly, and he's using exact term that I think needs to be applied when you're going into vintage pieces. Those are pieces of art, okay,
Mm.
and Restoration is extremely important here, being done right. It's not always cheap, obviously, it can be very expensive.
Hmm.
You are preserving the piece. You have to work with people who are knowledgeable. You have to be knowledgeable. There is a lot of factors that apply when you're dealing with vintage pieces. And if you want to do it right, it's going to be expensive, very expensive, and it's going to require dedication, knowledge, and sense of art. You see, he took that from Cliver and took him $3,000 to actually make it proper, because Cliver didn't give a fuck. Right? It's patina and all the bullshit that Cliver pushes.
Well, Cliver
So
was taking it to that not the Uber Oki, but the other watchmaker. You know, the watchmaker.
yeah, the butchers. So yeah, that's how I think. If you wanna deal with vintage, that's how you have to deal with vintage. You have a super chat from GB.
GB $2. My 5-digit sub wears better than any newer sub.
Hmm.
Not really. I think it may wear better, but I think the bracelet on the ceramics fucking walk all over the
I have
Oh,
to
it's
agree.
uncomparable. It's uncomparable.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Listen, uh, GB, I think everything is subjective, right? So obviously, if you feel like that, who are we to tell you not to feel like that? I personally think if you go into vintage Rolex, the quality of the watches was substandard. I mean, to me, vintage Rolex was not well built piece. It's definitely intriguing and design is amazing,
getting
and
a vitamin tablet. I'll be back in one tick, 1 minute.
but that comes down to a debate of what is important to you in a watch. If I'm not saying that vintage sub doesn't wear well or everything, but if you compare the bracelet from the vintage sub to actual modern bracelet,
Yeah,
that's day and night,
yeah.
honestly.
You get rolled links, and the clasp is half as good as the newer modern ones. Um, yeah, so I have to totally agree with you, Bear, in that respect.
But
But
you can enjoy. This is not like, and you can find the beauty, and you can enjoy the vintage pieces, and a
no,
comfort component as well. I might You might find it more comfortable on your wrist. All that goes without the saying, right?
You know, the funny
Um,
thing is, Bear, you look at these, you got to look at the watches as an evolution, right? They, the subs were basically a add-on to a date just. It was a date just with a bezel. Then that became, it just the steps that it evolved, and I think it's really easy to look back and say, oh, the new ones, the new ones have taken an evolution. They've taken certain steps to improve them over time, and I think unfortunately, Bear, the subs particularly have become a status symbol instead of a tool watch. People buy a sub now not to use it for diving. They buy it more to show off how well they've done. What do you think, Bear?
did you ever actually buy the sub for diving?
Do they? What do you reckon?
I don't know. I'm asking.
See, they often use a dive computer. That's so much better than a sub any day of the week, isn't it?
No, no. I understand that today, but in the past, did people actually buy these watches to dive with for, or
I think they did. I think they did, Bear.
like in the 60s and
60s,
70s, were they
70s.
wearing
Yeah.
Rolex sub as a statement piece, or were they wearing it like
I think it
how
was
was?
just a good. I got to tell you this. You remember, I was a huge fan of 80s TV. Were you an 80s TV or you were too busy fucking working?
80, no, I love 80s
no,
TV.
he watched all the same shows we watched.
I
Yeah.
never really saw watches being like a center. What watch are you wearing? Like just in popular popular pop culture, like you watch TV. Like I remember watching Heart to Heart. I used to love fucking Stephanie Powers. Okay, I had a thing for her,
Okay.
She was
and
beautiful.
yeah, they had the two Mercedes. Remember, Robert Wagner and her had the Mercedes convertible each, but I never really noticed what watch he was wearing.
Right.
Same as different strokes. I remember Mr. Drummond. He had the Cadillac, the factory limousine version, but I never noticed what watch he was wearing. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was never a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The watches that they wore, I could never really. They just wasn't part of the script. Whereas in modern times, the watches are so important now. They were good looking. I often liked Robert Wagner. It's a bit of a shame. You know what happened to his wife, don't you? Hello there.
I'm listening, Archie.
His wife fell off the back of a boat.
Okay.
Natalie Woods,
Mm-hmm.
and he was. Some people say he was involved in that disappearance. We got another super chat. GB $2. I went diving all last week with my Submariner. Well done. Well done indeed. Let's have a look at this. See, you look at these. This is the props for the TV show Heart to Heart. You can't really see their watches, can you? There's no real. You can see the Rolls Royce, but you can't really see any watches, can you?
Right.
They would just be old rich fucks now, wouldn't they? What would Heart to Heart be now?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
watches kind of came into vogue like during the big watch phase, at least for me. You know, like when Stallone and Schwarzenegger were wearing their Panerais, and
Yeah.
that's when I think people started looking at the wrists of actors and what they were wearing and trying to identify what they were wearing. Otherwise, before that, a watch was just kind of a,
I
you know,
think I
it
think
wasn't
for me the first notice of watches was with
James
James
Bond.
Bond.
James
Yeah.
Bond, yeah, for sure.
That's probably why I love it so much.
Yeah,
I think kind of that movie that whole cycle of the movies incorporates a lot of things that men love, right? From
yeah.
pussy to cars to luxury to watches and so on.
Yeah.
The other probably I noticed, obviously noticed in the um, American
I just
Psycho.
want to. Sorry, I just want to show you one thing, Bear. So I
Mhm.
did a Google search. I had Heart to Heart. Then I put plus wristwatch. Guess what came up? Nothing about Robert Wagner and that sexy Stephanie Powers. It came up with Kevin Hart's watches.
Yeah,
See,
he's a
Oh,
great.
modern.
He's a big collector.
yeah, he's
He's
a big collector.
But what I'm trying to say is, modern pop culture, the watch is embedded in the pop culture,
Mhm.
whereas
Mhm. Yeah.
with Heart to Heart, the TV show, I don't even know what fucking watch Stephanie Powers wore. It's
Yeah. The
probably a
other,
Cartier.
I also, I do agree. Baron Gordon Gekko was influencer on the watch, the movie Wall Street. Definitely the gold Cartier Galbe Santos, very cool piece. American Psycho influenced some people on watches. The those are probably the earliest things, and I agree with Mikey. There was a whole lot of interest by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone with Panerai and large watches. Period. Um,
Yes.
so this is where we kind of see the beginning of the hype or interest for it in the pop culture. I don't know actually why you're pushing this show that has nothing to do. I mean, you want to jerk off on this chick or what's the story
Yeah.
here?
No, what I'm trying to say is that if you look back in the 80s, you often got guidance from the TV shows, right?
No, no, this wouldn't be the show. So yeah, that's right, Hank Glengarry Glen Ross. That's another great moment for the
Movie.
watch geeks. And as it goes, so those are good examples. The
But I mean,
what is
heart
it?
to
What
heart,
is
you
this?
don't even know what. I
What
don't
is this
even know
show
what watch.
called, Archie? Heart to Heart?
Yeah, you remember Heart to Heart with Stephanie
No, I
Powell?
never even heard
Yeah,
about it. To be honest
Robert
with you.
Wagner was in it. Robert Wagner. This guy. You don't
Well,
remember this?
Damascus helping you out. Damascus says Robert Wagner. I don't know who that is. Was a spokesperson in the 80s for Omega. Um, so we have a super chat from Frank Cannon. Thank you very much, Frank.
Frank Cannon, $5. If they bring back the Milgauss, is there anything in particular you'd like to see in terms of complications or medals? I'd like it, an alarm function. No, Frank. I think the best Milgauss was a Mil sub. They had a Milgauss sub. There
Oh,
was
wow.
actually a Rolex Submariner Rolex Milgauss, which had a I'll just call it up on the screen there. Milgauss,
That
and it was a
sounds.
sub. I'll show you. This is what it was, Bear. Look at this here. This
That's
was
a
the
cool
Yes,
watch.
Pavel, I know that's exactly where it was leading. That's why I had to stop it, man. I wasn't being rude, just so you know. I really can't handle David Cassidy talk tonight.
Now, this is a very cool watch, by the way.
What do you think of that, Bear?
Oh
As
well,
a
that's a
sub.
dream. That's a dream, Milgauss. That's ultimately what everyone is hoping that Rolex would do a sub in that style,
Yeah,
with
I
maybe
agree.
ceramic bezel and
Dolphin hands.
I don't know if they would, but hey, we will find out.
Yeah, exactly right, Bear. It's a very tricky thing. I I don't know whether it's coming back, but Frank Cannon, I'd like to see a
I
two-tone
I don't
Explorer
know
2.
why.
Might
Can you
see
explain to me? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Explorer 2 two-tone. I'd love to see that, Bear.
Okay. Um, I would like to know why is Frank asking about the alarm function? I am not aware of any Rolex in the history having alarm function.
The closest was the Tudor Advisor, Bear.
I know that. I'm speaking Rolex, not the Tudor.
You know,
I never liked alarm wristwatches.
So there isn't, right? You're confirming for me there was never alarm function with Rolex watches, correct?
I don't.
Not that I'm
I've
aware.
never heard of one. But I think in terms of vintage or older Rolexes, Rolex has always been, a watch to strive for, and they've always been very expensive, and that's why they came out with Tudor, right? To make Rolex available to the normal man, like or the guy who isn't in the same financial range as a Rolex buyer. So that's how Tudor came about. So I think Rolex has always been recognized as a top echelon watch. But at the same time, when they're making their subs, and then you compare them to like Patek and Vacheron of the same eras. Now, granted, all these watches from the other companies are probably a lot smaller back then. Um, as was the sub at the time. The sub was smaller when it started out, but like if you could compare 40 millimeter Vacherons and Pateks to Rolex from like let's say 67, I think you'd find the quality and stuff from Vacheron and the other companies other than Rolex like a lot higher. But Rolex, they made their name on being sturdy and reliable and expensive and they backed it up, with being what what they were advertised as: waterproof, sturdy. They could handle a whack and not break. The movements were really
They
tough.
could take a beating.
Yeah,
Take a
and so
beating.
So Rolex, they've always, but I have to agree though that in the past they didn't always make the best. Like their rolled linked bracelets. At some point in the pre-ceramic era, they went to the solid links, right? I don't know what year, but it was newer, right? It was like
Yeah,
late
it's
80s
in
or
the 70s.
something, or 70s,
In the
was it?
70s, actually. No, in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
You remember when they went from rolled link spare?
No.
No, you don't care. You don't care about vintage. Bear does not give a fuck about
Well, I'm just
vintage
saying
in the least.
those old rolled link bracelets are just horrible. I mean, they stretched and
Bear doesn't like vintage. Bear
they got
doesn't
a
like
little
vintage in the
loosey
least.
goosey right off the bat, and eventually broke and fell off. But the newer, when they went to the solid links, I think was a big jump in quality improvement and feel of the watch. The oyster bracelet got stiff like it's supposed to be, and but yeah, Rolex, has always kind of had its own little box, its own niche that that's why Rolex is Rolex, Plus
We got a great super chat
their
from
genius marketing.
Corrado Galizia. $5. Bear, do you think as watches continue to advance, you will move your collection to the then modern pieces as your pieces now become more neo vintage? So what he's
First,
saying is he's going to.
I want to thank you, Corrado Galizia, for the super chats tonight. I really appreciate your help and support. Well, at my age, for my watches to become neo vintage, chances are I won't be alive to see that. So I pretty much have collection consisting all of modern Rolex. And for that to become a neo vintage, I would probably have to live to be 90s. I either won't give a fuck at that point or I won't be alive. So I am driven always by newer watches. I am driven by new releases. I am the type of guy who enjoys new releases. So let's say I find the pill that makes me live forever, I would probably consider upgrading and moving always my watches into direction of newer pieces. It's just that type of collector that I am.
I got to be honest with you, Bear. The whole thing is with the whole collection thing is it's inevitable. No matter what we have, it's going to be outdated. But I like to stay in my own time warp, Bear. Stay in your time warp. You collect pieces like it's like, say, if you had a 40 mil Submariner, would you have to replace it for 41? I think you can just kind of keep that for a while. What do you think, Bear?
I'd like to have them all.
Yes. But what he's
Well,
saying is that then the 40 becomes a neo vintage.
A 40 millimeter sub,
How many years is required for something to be considered neo vintage?
I think it's considers when they pull it from the, like, you could argue the SDK 4000, the Sea Dweller 4000 is neo vintage.
No,
well, what year is that?
no, that's not neo vintage, and that's already, believe it or not, that's already what? How old?
Well, that came out what, late 2000s, wasn't it?
So
2008, 2009 sort of thing. It was, when did they first go
25
ceramic?
years old.
Ceramic was what, 2008 or something, wasn't it, Bear?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it only had an 18-month run. Like, that's nearly 15 years ago, Bear.
But I would not consider that neo vintage. To me, ceramic bezel, sapphire, that's not neo vintage for me.
No, I see what you're saying. We got another
I
super
think
chat, Bear.
Melvin. Go
I
ahead.
agree. Yeah, 10 years old, 15 years old. I mean, 25
On
years
the
old.
movies topic,
If you take
on the movies
cars,
topic, check out Colin Farnell in his two-tone Datejust with his tracksuit in Guy Ritchie's film The Gentleman.
mm,
Do you remember that movie, The Gentleman? You're a huge movie buff, Bear.
I never seen that movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't. I like Guy Ritchie. I like Colin Farrell. Bring it up, Archie. Put the Colin Farrell Gentleman Datejust.
yeah, let's check
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah. I'm going to try and find that there.
You know what? I think 25 years, and things are considered vintage, and then at 50 years they're considered antique. I think there's a somewhat of a general kind of guideline as far as your age goes when it comes to cars and antiques, furniture, and stuff like that. So like when we're talking vintage, I know it gets a little kind of fuzzy there, but yeah, 25 years would definitely be vintage. That would be in the 2000s right now. So that's not even that old, like, and they were making good stuff in 2000 pretty much. All my subs were the they were from 10, 15 years ago. Um, so they weren't that much newer than 2000, and they were great. I loved them. But man, after seeing the newer stuff, the newer clasps and the newer case size in the 41 sub and the bigger Sea Dwellers, I was a big Sea Dweller fan as well. I had a number of those because they fit
Hey,
me.
we got a clip from Nico here. Bear, do you want me to play this Nico clip?
Sure.
Let's have a look.
On the ground. The Gentleman, what a movie that is. I actually think that this is an 1803. You know why? Why? An 1803 is really one of the earliest day dates ever. But you see the raised glass on this watch. That's plexiglass, that's not sapphire. And plexiglass was used in the reference number 1803, meaning that this is one of the earliest Rolex day dates ever. It was so old that it didn't even have a quick set. Was there a price talking? A Rolex day date, 1803, depending, of course, if it's a full set or not, and depending as well on the condition, is worth from about $10,000 upwards to $20,000. What the fuck?
How's that, Bear?
How is what, Archie?
That's the clip.
Okay.
Actually, this is he's wearing a day date, which is not a two-tone Datejust, and he's in these tracksuit pants.
All right.
But I'd have to find that. But anyhow, okay. The movie, I have to have a look at that movie, Bear.
Okay.
I might actually have a look at that movie.
Great.
Yeah, it'll be a great topic, Bear. I got to tell you, seriously, you are not a collector who must have the latest model, but you won't ditch them. Like, you don't ditch the 40 mil subs in your collection, do you? You keep both, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As long as it was, what's the rules on like, would you ever buy a Kermit, for example? That's the non-ceramic. Would you buy a Kermit?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. So Kermit uses the aluminum bezel.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So is there a rule on age? Well, how do you decide whether you
I
keep
just
it or you
happened
don't?
that I found a good example. I think it's a very special watch. It's an anniversary sub. So for me, that was the reason I bought it. I would do probably
Yeah.
same thing with Pepsi or Coke. If it's like a really good example, and yeah, sure, why not?
Why not? That's exactly it, Bear. Why not indeed there?
No, weren't all the pre-ceramic bezels aluminum, or did they?
Yeah, they were all aluminum. Originally, they were Bakelite plastic, but they were cracking. So they
Okay.
changed it to aluminum.
That's
Okay.
on the GMTs. We got a super chat. My watch history, $2. Is Coda still alive? We need proof. I'm worried. No, no watch history. The dog was rehomed. It was turned out to be quite a difficult dog. Have you had any updates? Is she doing okay, Bear? Sorry, Mike. Is she doing
Yeah,
okay?
she's doing great. She's just the new owners are completely happy, and she's much happier, doing wonderfully.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I did get a call from them, just an update call saying thank you,
Yeah.
and she's doing great. And I'm happy because I took her in because she was going to get put down the next day, and she didn't work out for me, but I was glad to have been able to rehome her, just like I did the dog before her. And I stuck it out, and I suffered, but I rehomed them, and they're both in happier places now, for sure. And now I've got my hand-me-down dog Toby, that was my brother's dog. This is a 15-year-old little lap dog, and he's just an angel. Fucking love him. His name's Toby. And he's just the best thing ever. He's the dog I wanted all along. And so yeah, we're managing along just fine, me and Toby. So that's the
That's
situation.
fantastic. So you got a dog. You got Toby? That's
Yeah,
your brother's dog.
my brother, when he moved to Texas, he didn't want to or couldn't take Toby with him. Toby's 15, and
I thought you had your mum's dog.
well, he was originally given to my mother, but then after she started undergoing her radiation treatments, she was unable to care for him. She couldn't bend down to feed him or do anything, and so he stayed with her for a short while, and then moved to me.
Okay, fair enough.
And that was quite difficult because I had Coda for a month or two, both, and I had to keep absolute separation because Coda would have eaten Toby alive at any given chance. And so it's quite a to do to keep the separation, and it wasn't a really great situation. So I'm so happy to have rehomed Coda,
You don't
and
have any pets now, do you?
yeah, no, I have
Just your
Toby.
mum's.
I have
What about
Toby.
your mum's dog? Where's that gone?
That's
That
Toby.
is Toby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See,
Okay, gotcha.
my brother asked me to take the dog on, and my mom always loved Toby, and it didn't dawn on either my brother or me to give the dog to my mom. And when we discussed it, we were like, we didn't think of that, so we immediately gave. He went straight to mom first, and mom was happy and everything was great. But then when she went in for her cancer treatments, she just got physically unable to care for him, and so he came to me. He came back to me, and so he's pretty much sticking with me from here on out. He's my little buddy. He goes everywhere I go. He jumps right in the car.
This is a Porsche, you mean?
He'll go in the Porsche. He'll go in any car, the Nissan. He just goes in the back seat and curls up, waits till the ride's over.
Have you had any updates on any work you've done on the Porsche lately?
Yeah, I went to go drive it the other day and lost my shifting, and there's a coupler that connects the shifter to the transmission that disintegrated, that broke. So I fixed that, and um, I'm waiting on a fuel line that I just it's a kind of an expensive fuel line. I just don't have the $140 to blow on it right now. It's only this little stupid 6-inch fuel line with banjo fittings on each end, but it's Porsche, so it's like stupid expensive. And the one on the car is kind of cracked, and I don't want to like push things. I would hate to have that line burst while I'm driving and have it, start a fire.
You're going everywhere.
Yeah, so I've been driving the car in a limited manner until I replace that fuel line, and then after that, it's no holes barred. The car is rocking; it's ready to go. One thing I am going to do, I am going to roll the front fenders. Um, which is the inner lip, underneath the fender well.
Yep.
I'm just going to curl those up a little bit because the car is set up as more of a racetrack car, so it sits very low. And when you turn the wheels and you hit a bump, the tires hit the fender, and that can't happen. So I
Would
need to
you
raise.
consider getting rid of the 930 now?
Not at this time, but I'm not 100% sure it's my forever car yet. I really want to, I got it running good, and it's registered and smogged and insured, and I can drive it any day, anytime I want. It runs great, but I really want to take it to a high-end body shop and have the tub. It's a unibody. I want to have the unibody tub checked for straightness. Because a lot of times, they could hit a big giant pothole, or have been previously hit and not really show any damage that you can see visually, but it might twist the car a little bit or something. I just want to have that checked out first.
Do you think something could be wrong with it?
No, not at all. If anything, the tub might be, like I say, a little like. What I found is to make the car sit level, I had to adjust the right front spring up, pushing up higher. And so the right and left sides are a little unequal. Like they're not in the same adjustment position. If everything were dead square, everything would be in the same adjustment position. But then again, like I bought the car, and like I don't think the fine tuning of the suspension ever got done. So I need to adjust the rear suspension too. I got work to do, but this is what I bought it for. It's a fun project car. I got it for a screaming price for this very reason, and it's a win-win no matter how things go, if it comes time to get rid of it, I'll be making a large extra sum of money, but that's not in the stars right now. Right now is to keep it and enjoy it. It was quite a task to get it smogged. I had to install a bunch of parts that were really expensive that I borrowed. And it was a real hassle, but I got it smogged, and every 2 years you have to get it smogged. So every 2 years I have to go through this headache. And so I'm going to do my best to enjoy the shit out of it for the 2 years and learn as much as I can about it. And, I think within the first 2 years, I'll decide whether it's going to be my forever car. And if it is my forever car, then I will, be putting all my energy into it. And I'll be spending some money on it down the road, switching it to electronic fuel injection, at which point it'd be safe to run on the racetrack.
Would you ever convert the car into electric?
No, God, no. You wouldn't do that. It's sacrilege. You wouldn't do that to maybe a regular 911 or a 914. A 914 is actually a really popular car to turn into electric cars. They've been making 914s into electric cars for a long time. But no, it's nothing I'm interested in doing. Not at all.
Yep. Bear, what's happening
Super chat.
in your super chat? We've got a super chat here. We've got Mr. Z joining us. Hello, Mr. Z. Little Dave, $2. Chingao, Little Dave, $2. Thank you, Little Dave. Mr. Z, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm really impressed with your watches. Let me ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Does that mean the Patek 5130G is off the table now?
No. I wanted to ask you that question because I actually wanted the 5130P, and I know you have the 5130G, and I wanted to know what your experience was with it. Do you love it, and are you happy you got it, and is a dream come true for you, or what?
Look, I haven't really had the time to enjoy it because I picked it up and I had to go. overseas, but it's an amazing watch. It's a really good size. It feels a lot bigger. I think the dial on the model before it, which was the 37 mil, the 5110, I think was better. But the dial on the 5130 is so cool. It's such a beautiful piece, and
Well, does it wear any
I don't,
different? Because I know you had a smaller, you had the
yeah.
smaller 37, and do you feel like it wears differently or no?
Um, yeah, it is a lot, but you look, it's not so it's bigger. It's just that it's not small. Instead of saying it's bigger, you realize, hey, this is the other one was smaller. So but the thing is, you got two Daytonas. Just to recap, you got the Panda, and you also got uh, the what was it, the Le Mans? What did you get? You didn't get the Le Mans. You got the
Platona.
Platona. Sorry, Platona.
Yeah.
Same
So
time from the AD.
not the same time. No. I sent
Okay.
you the Panda. I sent you the Panda. I think in December is when I got that. And I guess you don't remember, but I couldn't come on. I was very busy. I promised I would
That's
come.
right. I remember now. Yeah.
Right. And I
Yeah.
couldn't come on. I got tied up, and I got that one first, and then the platinum came last month, I believe.
That's a lot of money, the
So
platinum. It's still a lot of money.
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
You had your name down, or what happened there? Tell me what happened.
I did what now?
You had your name down at the AD?
Well, I collect Daytonas, and my AD knows that. And anytime that there's such a piece that's going to become available, I would hope to think that the phone would ring, and it did. And there the opportunity struck. So okay, but look, it's not my whole collection. I just am very fortunate. And I realize how difficult these things are to get, and I realize also that they could lose their value, and they could go up in value. All these things are variables of a collection, and you have to know how to manipulate your collection, which you've done over the years, and you
Now,
understand that you can't have every
yeah, you can't
watch.
keep everything. I
Right.
noticed that you got the Maserati. You've had the hands changed now.
I did. Yeah, I sent it to Rolex. Was good enough to do that for me gratis. So
Wow.
yeah, it
Very
took them a
cool.
long time to get back to us, as you remember, Arch, because
Yeah,
I
I
think we
know.
were a little confounded on that whole deal, and I guess they were too. So in the end, they said that it was my choice, but they said that the preference would be to have the red hands, and I said, well, then I want the red hands, and they didn't charge me anything, not a dime.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah, and tell me this: out of those four Daytonas, is there plans to add a fifth one, or you think this is it?
Well, there is a fifth one that's not in that picture. So, and yes, there are plans.
What's the fifth one? Sorry, I just got a mental block. What's the fifth one?
The fifth one is the one that you
Oh, the
physically
white
held
gold.
on your hand. Yeah,
You got the white gold, haven't you? The white gold blue dial.
that's correct. So,
Fuck.
and
Oh.
who knows what the future holds, and I don't know.
Mhm.
I spoke with Tan and the professor last night, and it's very difficult to get a word in edgewise with Tan. He doesn't like anyone else to talk very long. Tan, I'm
Mhm.
talking to you, Tan. So anyway, the professor made a point that the Le Mans was they discontinued production in November on the Le Mans, which is correct. They did, but that doesn't mean they're stopped making it. Okay, that's a very complicated watch, and a lot of people don't understand. And I believe he was correct in pretty much everything he said. He only told half the story. So the other half of that story is they could pick up and start producing this watch again in 2024. That doesn't mean that, that they're no longer making the watch, or, and I believe he might have alluded to this, they could make a different, a different reference to the same watch. Maybe
Yeah.
that 24-hour chrono thing is a difficult thing to, even for a master watch, maker such as Rolex or, it's not easy. So it's not easily produced or mass produced, especially when you're doing it on a whim, which Rolex doesn't do anything on a whim. So, it's a wait and see type of game. I don't think
We got a super chat in. Little
let's do
Dave,
that.
$2. Does the Paul Newman Daytona also come on a bracelet?
Yes. It also comes in a two-tone without the ceramic bezel.
Yes. Yes, you're
So
correct. Tell me this: 5 Daytonas. How many watches? How many luxury watches in total now?
I stopped counting them. So
Okay.
I got rid of a bunch,
Thanks.
and I did. I got rid of a bunch, and I have a couple more on consignment with a dealer, but nothing modern. I really love all the modern watches I have, and I want to keep them. So it's difficult to do that, because of the money, and I'm blessed. So I feel like
How much was the Platona?
they're a lot of money, Archie. It's on Rolex's website. It's like 85 grand or some crazy shit like that. So it's a lot of money, all right? And I don't have $85,000 in expendable money to buy a watch like that.
That's a lot of
And I'd
money.
be lying. It is, and I'd be a fucking bullshit artist if I said I did. I don't. So I had to make some moves in my collection to make that work. But there are things that I do not want to get rid of, and my modern Rolex are a major staple in my collection that I'm not interested in getting rid of. I'm just
Right.
not.
Have you received any comments on the Platona when you wear it?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you wear a $50 watch, and somebody compliments you on it, and you wear a $100,000 watch, and nobody really gives a fuck. But you know
Yes.
that because you've been wearing them your whole life, for your adult life mostly, and you know as well as I do. That's here or there. Unless somebody knows, they can't appreciate it.
Fair point.
There's
Unless
too many gold-plated cheap shit quartz watches out there that shine just as blingy gold as a solid gold Rolex or Patek. People these days, seeing something like that, like Mr. GMT said, you got to kind of know. Person has to know what they're looking at.
That's a good point,
Super
Mikey.
chat from Stud Muffin.
super chat from Stud Muffin. Thank you so much there. $5. Arch, you said you couldn't afford it, but I don't see a problem. Pull up the email. Okay, let's have a look.
A lot of people get compliments on their Movados. Very
totally.
highly complimented watch.
Mm-hmm.
So really, who gives a shit? I'm not interested in what. I'm not wearing my watch to get compliments from other people, although it's nice and it happens every once in a while.
Yeah, you don't need validation
It's-
from other people, do you?
No, it's my
No.
hobby. It's what I enjoy. It's what I enjoy, and I share with guys like you. And obviously, you still have a passion for it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have reinvented yourself. Pretty much what you did. So I'm impressed with what you've done. Very much so. I don't know if I could do what you did. So hats off to you. And we haven't had a chance to talk
No
really,
choice.
but
We got it.
yeah. You had a choice. You didn't. Listen, you could still use your mouth, Arch. So you could have come on here without buying another fucking watch and still been ArchieLuxury and still pulled it off. And anybody tells you different is full of shit. But there's a reason why you did it, and I don't think it was business either. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No. I think you're very
Mr.
right
Z,
there.
what's in a collection now?
Mostly heavy Rolex, Bear. So I've got a Batman and a Lefty. I've got the Daytonas. I've got my Cellini. I still have my Snoopy, which I love very much. I don't have my day date anymore. That's gone. So maybe at some point I want to get another day date. I wasn't in
Yeah.
love with my day date, so I want to get
Well,
another one.
remind me, please, what day date did you have, Mr. Z?
I had the silver motif, which is discontinued.
So which one would you, if you are getting a new day date, what would be the one you are liking?
I have requested the puzzle.
Fuck.
Okay, come on, Mr. Z, I'm asking serious question here.
I'm answering you. So here at this point in my life, I want something ridiculous that that only is going to get Marky Mark or Tom Brady or something like that. I don't really give a fuck, because if you don't ask, you don't get. So I'll take a shot. Why not? And I have
You gotta hand it to him. You gotta.
I have the collection to if I have to make a lateral move to get something special, I can do it.
Now we got Stud Muffins just sent me some real estate prices here for Bangkok, and this here is he's showing me. Okay, that's 13,000 a month, 1 bedroom condo, 35 square meters. There's another one here, 20 square meters for. We got a house, 1 bedroom, 15. Oh, that's the price per square meter. Okay, got you. There is definitely some great homes to look at. Yeah, I'll take a look. Thank you so much. This is in Bangkok. $3,200 a month per square meter. What the fuck does that mean?
Where are you now? Where are you now, Archie?
I'm in Bangkok. I'm in Bangkok.
How long have you been there?
Oh, I've been there 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Got another half a week to go. Coming back Sunday, my time.
And have you met anybody there? Are you hanging out?
Just taking it easy. I've been a bit sick, believe it or not.
Me too. I can relate.
Yeah, how are you? You okay?
I'm fine. Everything's good. I'm very busy. I got a lot going on. I'm juggling a lot of shit, and I don't have a lot of free time. But I haven't talked to you in a long time, and I know things have been hard for you of late. I catch whenever I catch, it's usually negative, and I feel bad because you're on here every fucking day, and people have a high expectation from you, and it's hard. So I don't know. I'd be happy to help you in any way I could. And the best way to help you is to say, I think you're doing a great job and keep it up.
Hey,
but
thank you.
I haven't been watching you, so I really don't know if you are doing a great job at keeping up. But I hope you're doing well.
Bear's been very happy, haven't you, Bear? I've been doing a great job there.
Well, we can always do better. I mean, I agree with Mr. Z. There's a lot of negativity and hate to deal with. That bothers me sometimes. Yeah, I get a little bit tired of that. Most common thing in Archieverse is like I don't mind. I said I don't mind banter. I don't mind jokes. I don't mind mockery and all that. But sometimes it's just a pure hate. I was triggered on that yesterday. So with Archie, just the only thing I ask Archie is engagement, 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 engagement. To be not to do the crossword puzzles, to be involved, to talk like he's talking with you now. That's what makes a good show. You have a super chat from a mobster.
Got a super chat from Mobster. Here we go. Mobster $2. Do you think Lux is a power bottom? Hey, no, I don't think he is. We got Stud Muffin $2.
Lux is a wonderful guy. Lux is a wonderful loyal, hardworking guy, helping Archivers, helping Archie. Trust me, it's not always easy for him. I have a lot of respect and admiration for him.
Very nice.
Super chat
Yeah, I
from
know.
Stud
Changing it
Muffin.
to Aussie. I'm just changing the price now. Stud Muffin wants me to change the price. Why did it do that? Stud Muffin. Here we go. Stud Muffin. $2. Change the currency to Aussie dollars at the top. Okay, I'm just doing that now. Okay, currency. Oh, here we go. This here is $63 a month, Bear. Look at that. That's pretty amazing, Bear. 63
Okay.
bucks a month. Do you want to see what 63 bucks a month gets me in Bangkok, Bear?
I personally couldn't care less,
Take
but
a look at
please
this, Bear.
enthuse yourself, please.
Fuck, what is this? I hate it when I ask you to log into these fucking things.
So Bear, what is your desires of late? Do you have something you're eyeing that you want to pick up?
Well, you know what, Mr. Z, to be honest with you, I got I don't know if you know, I got a Patek Philippe 5167.
I did not.
Yeah, I bought that, so I'm proud Patek owner. Quite influenced probably by Tanzil and Archie. I just wanted to tick that box, and I do enjoy that watch. I always liked it. Prices did come down. I got a decent opportunity where I was able to trade some pieces toward that because
There
I
you go.
simply could not buy it straight out. I would love to experience to add the Ademar Piquet Royal Oak white
Oh,
dial to my collection.
you sure about
Uh,
that?
I'm not.
I
I
wouldn't be
gotta be.
either.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I think I would like to experience it. From Rolex, I've been hoping and waiting and hoping to get my Rolex Yachtmaster in titanium, but my AD hasn't received one yet. Um,
That's pretty terrible.
really liking the white dial Speedy that came out. So I'm going to buy that as soon as it becomes available,
Very nice.
and still buying shitter here and there. Um, that's kind of ongoing thing. So there you go. That's the things. I uh, I am enjoying Patek. I'm enjoying wearing Aquanaut. It feels nice on the wrist. So that's the only new thing really that matters. The only significant new thing.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Super
I can
chat.
tell you. Go ahead.
Roland Travel Channel 40 Thai baht. What's with the poverty search? Search Ritz-Carlton residence. So these here are very affordable places. $100 a month. I must admit,
Just so we
these
know,
are very cheap.
chat knows. I can't see the chat, so if anyone is calling me out or whatever to say hi everybody. I'm sorry, I can't see what's going on. So, but I appreciate all the kind words from yesterday, and everybody was really nice. So that's a change in the action there. So, hello and thank you.
But realistically, you've got to be spending, say we spend 1,600 Aussie a month. These are much, much nicer. Look at these here. Nice apartments. Not a lot of money, 1,600 a month. It's 400 a week. Beautiful. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. There's some bargains, that's for sure. There definitely are some bargains.
So Archie, Bear says he's interested in an AP, right? And you've had experiences with AP, and you know your experiences with them kind of turned me off to the brand. And then actually having to hold one and experience the watch from an owner perspective, what advice could you give Bear?
Look, I think the thing with AP is if Bear buys a more modern one, I went for bang per buck. I really went for bang per buck when I bought my AP. I should have, instead of getting a 14, I got the 36 mil 14. What did I get? 14. I can't remember the reference. Fuck, I just got a mental block. But the thing is, if I would have gone for a 15-300, it would have been a much newer, better piece. I think these APs, realistically, they are something that you can only service through AP. It's something you would definitely not take it to an independent. Look, if you want one, my advice would be to get a 3-hand because you got less complication. Basically, step into it carefully. You're buying it because it's an AP. I would say
it's like a Mercedes Benz. You better get ready to pay up on the maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, Mercedes Benz is a classic example. They use a lot of plastic, a lot of things they've done. They're no longer. People think by spending bigger money, it's more robust and more. But the reality is
that a good comparison?
Well, the thing is this: AP is more horology, but it's delicate. It's very delicate. The funny thing is, I've always
Actually,
found
Cashflow has a good comment.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same with Patek? Who would service Trinity outside of Maker? I think this is where Archie really fucked up with his AP.
Yeah, I would say, look, you're probably best, any of those brands, you're best to get it serviced by the manufacturer. I find Patek to be so much more reliable. I really haven't had a lot of Patek problems. But I mean, look, Bear, if you want to get an AP, it's a very aspirational piece. You've got to buy things that make you happy. It's not for me to tell Bear how to spend his money. But I would say definitely, man, I'd go for it. Instead of going for it the funny thing is a lot of the AP complicated watches aren't much more than the 3-hander, and that's because they can be tricky and expensive to service. I got a super chat from Pavel, $10. Mike, that Porsche chassis is as straight as Wiggins' uncleared VLC history. Hi, Zoso. There we go.
Gentlemen, I got a jet. I got a phone call, but thank you so much. And Archie,
enjoy your Daytonas, man. Love them.
I can't wait to catch up with the both of you and start making plans for October.
Thank you, Mr. Z. Thank you, Mr.
My
Z.
pleasure. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Sir.
Bye-bye.
He's a great guy, isn't he, Mr. Z?
Yeah. So Archie, if I end up going for the AP, do I need to manscape my buttocks and wear lavender lipstick?
I think you got to wear slim fit, Bear. You're going to have to wear slim fit shirts.
Really?
You heard of slim fit? You know what slim fit is? That's the sort of shirts Birmingham would wear. Slim fit.
Yeah, but that's not going to fit me, Archie.
We're fat fuck.
Right.
When did it go bad for us, Bear? You remember being 50?
Of course.
Was it better at 50 than now? 50 late
actually
50s?
Same. No, it's same. It's same. To be very honest with you, Archie, the best age in my opinion, for me, when I felt the best was 40.
40.
Right.
Wow. Well, you're going to live a long time. Your dad lived a long time.
Hey, I don't know. I don't. really want to talk about that. To be honest with you, it's a very poor topic. We were on a good roll.
Good roll. We're on a good.
We're
He's got
talking.
5 Daytonas. 5 Daytonas, Bear. What a
That's
fucking
impressive.
amazing.
No, it's a great. And they're carefully chosen. You know, we have a Paul Newman. We have a Platona with the open case back. We have a Panda. We have a Maserati Blue. We have a blue dial white gold. And am I missing here something, Archie?
Hey, we just got Timely Behavior has
Hello,
jumped
boys.
on to say hello. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Timely. Nice to see you, man.
Good, going well. Good to see both of you guys.
Fantastic.
I wanted to just say to Bear as well about Dad, my condolences as well. I didn't want to type it on some bullshit social media or any garbage like that. I wanted to talk sort of,
Oh,
as
thank you,
face-to-face as
brother.
possible. But, yeah, so... Hey, Mikey. There
Hey,
he
man.
is. Got
Long
the big
time no
wave down in
talk.
the corner. Yeah, long time.
Yeah, good to talk to you,
I
buddy.
see you
Good
often
to see you
in
too.
our horology talk group, so it's nice to see you there. It's nice to see you here.
Thank
I
you.
always enjoy your comments or posts. You're a cool guy, man.
You
Thank you
definitely
very much. I
missed. You
appreciate that.
definitely missed over here.
Yeah.
You got to improve your aim, Mikey.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
What'd you
aim.
say?
Okay. No, it's all good. Don't worry, I was just having a joke.
Okay.
No, thank you very much. And it wasn't at your expense either. So thank you very much, Mikey. I appreciate that. Archie.
Definitely very missed.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mikey. Archie. When are you coming back?
It's coming back on Sunday, my friend.
Sunday. How long's a flight?
It's about 9 hours.
Oh, shit.
It's not terrible. 9 hours isn't that bad.
Yeah, not bad.
I enjoy sitting in an economy seat at the back of the plane in the middle row of the middle aisle.
Arch, can you put me
Yeah,
full
why
screen?
not?
Sure, Mikey, we'll do that now.
This is Toby.
Hey. You got another dog?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he got dropped on me. It was my brother's dog, and my brother moved to Texas.
This was yeah. I remember this one. While back.
No,
Yeah, cool.
This is my newest dog. I rehomed Coda, and then
but you had to rehome Coda because you're getting this dog, yeah?
No, I was pretty much fed up with Coda.
Well, where's she now? Where is she now?
She is happily living with a couple on a ranch out in the country. And
I'm asking this dog you have now. Where is?
Oh, he's sleeping right here beside me.
Oh,
the funny thing is, Mike, the thing I don't understand is we never knew Coda was a pain in the ass until.
Well, it was just a progressive thing, you know. I mean, you start out, you're fresh, you don't know the dog.
What is the picture of the dog you showed? That's a Toby?
That's Toby.
That's
the dog I have now.
That was his brother's dog that his mum got that he's looking after.
Yeah, and he's just an absolute sweetheart of a dog. And my first boy dog. So he's training me very well. I got to take him out really often. He's got to, go tinkle. But other than that, he's just the sweetest, most gentle soul I've encountered, and I'm totally in love with this guy.
Just quickly as well, guys, I'm on the phone, right? So I don't have the ability to type, but discount and hands, knees, and toes, and all you guys. Thank you very much. It's good to see all you guys too. Sorry, it's been a while.
No, that's okay. Mr. Zoso was on Timely.
I know. I just missed him.
Did you hear?
By the Daytonas,
I'll just show you what he's got, just so you can. Okay, so this is a photo of 4 of them, right? But then I forgot he's got his 5th one. He reminded me. He's got the solid white gold on the bracelet with the blue dial, and I got to be totally honest with you. He's got a steel in the Panda, 2-tone in the Maserati.
Yeah, I was going to say, got the Maserati blue.
He's got the solid gold, white gold.
Yeah.
He's got the yellow gold on the Oyster Flex, and then the platinum. I mean, what a fucking amazing!
It's covered the.
I'd almost, if I was him, I'd almost I'd almost be fucking over the moon with that. What do you think, Bear? Is that an amazing collection?
It's remarkable.
Doesn't
Oh, yeah.
the Daytona the Maserati blue Daytona that he has and the one that you had, isn't there a different difference in one of the hands or something? Like there's a red hand or there's
Sorry
a red
to
mark or
interrupt
something
you,
like
boys.
that.
We have a membership super chat from Herman Love. He's been member
Here
for
we
10
go.
months, boys.
There you go.
Herman Love, member for 10 months. Dogs are family members, the most loyal among us. Thank you, Herman Love. The interesting thing is, what happened, Timely,
Yeah.
he got his dial changed. It was a white dial, and he wanted the Maserati dial, and they didn't change the hands.
Okay,
And
yeah.
what
So left
they
the
should
original
be,
headset.
on the racing dial, they should be red hands. So they've actually done that now. He has arranged to he had that work done free of charge by them. So
Oh yeah, so it's all sorted out now. Okay.
yes,
fair
he's
enough.
all sorted out. Look, 5-piece Daytona. I'd almost say, you know what? Have a couple of other watches and just get rid of I'd love 5 Daytona. This is so powerful. You think about it: steel, two-tone, solid gold on oyster flex, solid gold on bracelet, and a platinum. It doesn't get better than that.
wanna say I hope cousin Angelic feels better. He said he's not feeling well, so he fell asleep. So cousin Angelic, my love goes to you. I also wanna say that I agree with Nark that Uzi is a better name. I told him exactly that. The guy keeps changing his name. Uzi was actually quite unique, and that's the name he made the first impact with. And you guys continue now.
Yeah. Van Lux, I don't know. I sent you a gift. I had a gift from Hong Kong, but when I went to post it in Australia, it was so fucking expensive. I've posted it from Bangkok. That is in the mail, airmail to you, Van Lux. That is in the mail to you.
Archie, what's if you had to buy another Daytona again, if you're going to get one, right?
Yeah.
Put past history aside with the Maserati blue, all that.
Yeah.
If money was no object, what's your choice?
Yeah. Oh, but I think that platinum Daytona is an end piece. That I think that is an end piece. I'd love a steel Daytona as well, but would you like a steel Daytona?
I'm not a Daytona guy, to be honest.
No.
They're pretty, I respect them, but it's not one of the ones that I'd be after.
I'm with you on that one. From my perspective, the only reason I love Daytonas is because they're hard to get.
Yeah.
But it's certainly not my favorite Rolex. It's not probably even in the top 10 Rolex watches. I do respect them. I do understand the appeal. And my position on that is I want them only because they're hard to get.
Yeah, they're unobtainium.
But as the watch, I don't remember last time I wore any Daytona.
That's
I just
difficult.
don't have that.
The pushes are hard to engage. You know, I got to tell you, the pushes are. You got to unscrew it. By the time you've unscrewed it, whatever you wanted to time has gone.
Yeah,
That's the problem with it, Bear.
For me, again, like exactly what Bear was saying. Yeah, it's all about the thrill of the chase, and if you can get one.
Yeah.
Because you know, let's be honest, they're unobtainium. But apart from that, the watch itself, if it was get it at retail, don't worry about what you're going to make for it, just enjoy the watch. It's not my thing. Personally,
Exactly
you're bluesy over that 100% any day of the week. Yours and Bear's, you the bluesy.
Oh yeah, bluesy.
Yeah, speaking of bluesy, we got Doc joining us.
Hey,
Doc.
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Timely?
Long time no
Good,
see.
Man. I know.
Welcome
I've
back.
been a stranger. Thank you, sir.
Doc, what do you think of Mr. Zoso's 5-piece Daytona, modern Daytona collection.
Oh, it's very nice. I think probably the Platona is worth it. Obviously, I'm a vintage guy, but I can still appreciate the modern.
$80,000 US, man. Fuck, that's dear, isn't it? They've gone up a long way.
Well, I'm not going to talk too much about that. I mean, you have to, if you're in love with the watch, you have to sacrifice sometimes. So,
tell me this, Timely. How's your Explorer 1 going? You got the 39mm Explorer 1. What do you think?
Beautiful watch. Love it. I'm really enjoying it. It's one of those ones I can wear it anywhere, wearing anything. Like, it doesn't really matter what, you know. It'll take whatever you throw at it. It's a beautiful piece. It's a good size. It fits under the cuff if you're wearing something a bit business smart. Great watch. Loving it.
And tell me this. You were very... you were missing... You wanted a Rolex, a proper men's size Rolex for a long time because you had a 34mm.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Would you wish you did it sooner?
It's worth it, but I'm glad I did it the way I did it, where I had, you know, shit to sell and then buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it the right way.
How was the market for that shit you were selling? It was...
Well, to be honest, it sold pretty quick.
Can I just respond to Wemby?
Yeah.
Wemby, you are hilarious. I don't even make that much. What are you talking about? What the heck are you thinking? Anyway, continue, guys.
Yeah, no, the things that I flick, so like that 34mm Rolex, I mean, I put it up for sale within a day or 2 days, it was gone. So I got pretty lucky. It only took about a month or so to sell off a bunch of shit.
How much did you get for it?
The Rolex, I got, what was it, about 3,800 for it.
Fuck, that's not bad.
I only got it for 2,600, so...
Who was he buying? What did he do with it? Who was buying it for himself, for his wife, or what was he doing?
Just buying it for himself. The guy just saw it, you know, asked a million questions, thought he was going to be a tie kicker, but eventually he pulled the trigger on it. That was good. Easy sale. Yeah. He's happy. I'm happy.
That's fantastic news.
Yeah. So I was able to go out and, it was about 2 weeks after I sold the vintage OP, I spoke with a guy that had my Explorer 1, and then I went out and did the deal and got it sorted.
I'm glad you did it. I think you enjoy it. I can tell you enjoy it.
Oh, it's great. I'm loving it, Bear. It's the best. Thank you. It's a fun watch. No, you're right. So, like, with the Railmaster, you know, that's a 12,369 dial as well, and to some respects, you know, in regard to that, it's a similar thing. Like, I've had a couple of people say, "Well,
of course, listen, that's the same style of watch."
Yeah.
People who love Railmaster, they will love Explorer. I mean, there's no question about it. They are very similar in their style, in their DNA. Those two watches are cousins. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. 100%. And the thing, like, I've had people say, well, now that you got the Rolex, you're going to ditch the Omega. And I said, well, for the dial on the Omega is beautiful. The case is beautiful. You know, like that. To me,
I'm gonna tell you something timely. I have tons of Rolex.
Yeah.
Yet, if you ask me, one of my absolute favorite watches is my Omega Railmaster Tribute 1957.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Beautiful watch.
I think that is absolutely a king of the watches. King.
Yeah, you've got the Aqua. Which one did you buy, Daniel? Sorry, Timely.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That was
which Railmaster?
Yeah, that was the denim one.
Yeah,
wasn't
it's the blue denim dial, but it's the one of the later ones because there was a couple versions of it. One had the faux patina. I don't have that one. I've got the one where it's the white indices and it's got the brown secondhand lollipop secondhand with the brown Railmaster writing on the dial. So mine's literally one of the last ones. It was August 2023. They discontinued it then.
And then they all the Railmaster that was offered in that trio set is actually
That's the one Bear has.
It's slightly smaller than the other
Is it?
Railmasters. Yeah, if you buy a Railmaster just alone, I think the case is a millimeter bigger.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I may be wrong, but I think I'm right on that one.
The one that I got for me, because I got it at such a good price. When I went on the show, we did the unboxing. Madman, got into him, basically said, "Hey, love the watch, wanted to get one," and I managed to get him one for a pretty good price as well through the same guy. So,
nice.
Honestly, even though the two watches are very similar, to me they feel very different when you're wearing them. That's why I like how the Railmaster. I got the one with the denim NATO strap, so I've got a really nice strap on it at the moment, where it's like a denim look to it. So I'm really
Archie, can you
enjoying
do me
wearing
a
that on.
favor? Can you play my I send you to WhatsApp the video of my favorite watch to
There you go.
timely.
I'm opening it up
Thank
now,
you.
Bear.
Thank you.
So no, I really enjoyed that one on the strap and the Rolex on the bracelet. It's perfect.
I gotta say, you got a great deal on that, and the reality is, Omega is really fucking expensive. They are overcharging.
Brand new
Yeah,
box,
yeah.
brand spanking new box papers.
They're out of their
everything.
fucking mind.
38 or 3900 I got it for. Yeah, but that's beautiful.
This is beautiful, Bear. I got to tell you, this watch here is fucking gorgeous. I love. It doesn't seem to be as solid as a Rolex bracelet. And that is it as solid, Bear?
This is a fantastic bracelet. But this is limited. Can you play it from beginning?
It's cool how they put the Omega
And can you
logo
X
on
that
the
fucking
clasp as
shit
the.
covering down?
Yeah.
It's cool how they made it as the bit to open the clasp with. Yeah, see there?
Can you
Look at
X
this.
that fucking thing on the bottom?
Yeah, what's this log? What is this log into Instagram shit?
It's a top right corner exit.
There you go.
Thank you.
And I love the crystal on this too, how they made it look like an acrylic.
I like the
Yes.
faux patina. The faux
Fuck,
patina
that's
is
so good how
fucking
they did that.
gorgeous.
Isn't it a good looking watch?
Great looking watch.
Mm. And I like the way it's the
Bracelet's
sides that
variant
are
on the old
polished.
style.
Side polished
That's
with the
beautiful.
matte internal. It's fucking. I must say, timely, when I was in Sydney, I went to the Omega boutique. Not a fucking soul in there.
Really?
Mm.
Ghost
Super
town.
chat from Apes, boys.
We got a super chat from Apes. We love our Apes. Apes is a great guy. £5, Mike. Do you regret selling Rolexes for the 930? True thoughts, please, Snake. I take that as a no.
Mikey?
Mikey's just on the phone to somebody
He
else
might,
at the moment.
he might have picked the
Look,
call.
But I think he's.
No,
I think
I'm
Mikey's
here,
happy.
I'm here.
The
Sorry,
problem with Mikey. Hey, Mikey, do you regret
Mike's here,
selling the
Mike's here.
to get the 930 now? You mentioned you might be selling the 930.
No,
what's
I did
the
not
go?
mention that. I did not mention that. I didn't say anything of the sort.
No, you said in the future you're not sure whether this car is your forever car.
I did say that, but that doesn't mean that I'm considering selling it at this time at all. And I have no regrets. I even though I overpaid for my Rolexes and all of that, I would never have been able to save up that amount of money towards a goal without it burning a hole in my pocket and my settling on something much less. So the fact that I had to translate my Rolexes into what I needed to get the car is just a matter of fact. I'm happy with what I did, and I'm working on replacing. Once again, my first watch will probably be a sub.
Yeah, damn right.
Start over.
Mm.
I've got my Speedy, so I'll have two of the
most iconic timepieces. Two
Well,
most iconic
that
timepieces.
and two of a pretty perfect three-piece combo. If I find another, valid third
I'll
watch.
give you the perfect three. Sub. I add the sub, any sub you want. I don't really care.
Hmm.
Your speedy
Hmm.
and any GMT that you can get.
Yeah,
That's a good value.
Pepsi would be.
Fucking
I'd be
even
done.
even if it's like even if it's like aluminum bezel one, any Pepsi,
Yep.
that trio, fucking hot.
Yep. Agreed.
Sorry, guys, got a call that cut me off.
Hey, no, that's okay. I got to tell you, Bears, just looking at this watch here, this is your Railmaster. This is fucking gorgeous, Bear. I'm going to ask Dave if he can look out for one in the future.
I love
They're
this
pretty.
watch. It's truly to me this is the most beautiful Omega I ever owned.
Mm.
You know who has this watch and considers it
Who?
one of his favorite watches?
Who's that?
The gentleman from Pakistan that was the regular on your show. The name escapes me.
Sard.
No, the original one with Clive and with Goldberg and
Hisham.
Hisham. That's
Hisham.
correct.
Oh, he's
My
from India.
apologies for. Sorry, from India. My apologies for getting the name. I'm in touch with him on Facebook. A wonderful guy, by the way.
Yeah, great
And
guy.
and this is the guy that has some heavy hitters. Let's be honest. This is
Yeah.
the guy. This is a wealthy gentleman. Uh, he has this watch, and he considers this one of his precious pieces.
Do you know what this the Railmaster reminds me of? How it looks like, how they've redone it. The vintage Ranchero.
Bring it up,
Do you
please.
remember the Omega Ranchero, the vintage one? It's got a very, very similar dial layout, similar case, but obviously it's smaller. It'd be like 36 mil or something.
This is not big. This is 38.5
38 or
million.
39. Yeah, there you go. Because they've done a re. I think the Ranchero twice, like they released it, and then two more times they've re-released it because they discontinued it many years later, bring it back out.
Right.
Yeah.
Guys, it's getting to that time of the show where we've got to thank our sponsors. Today, we are linking to JJ. That's right, guys. JJ has got his the watch hangout. He's got a great show lined up today. He's got topics, everything our show should be. Bear. The joke,
Just you.
Bear being passive aggressive. Passive
Huh?
aggressive.
Who? You?
JJ, I'm just
No.
having a joke with you. That's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Super
yeah,
chat
yeah.
from Corrado Galizia. Thank you, Corrado.
Thank you. Colorado, Galicia,
No,
$2.
Corrado.
Colorado. Bear,
Corrado.
do watch the ID guy. He loves that watch. Oh, yes, ID guy.
Yeah, I did
He's
watch
got
him
some
in the
great
past.
videos.
You just reminded me. He's a cool guy. He does it
I
very
love his
interesting.
accent.
He asked me, Archie, can I answer the question?
Sorry.
Thank you for reminding me, Corrado. I'll check him out. I did watch him in the past. I just stopped for no valid reason. I have a lot of respect for that guy.
He did a nice review on that Railmaster.
Definitely going to check that out.
Okay, guys, let's go through the list of donors for today. We had some really good people. Who did we have? Well, we had Eric L. Eric L, thank you. The Watch Hangout. Frank the Tank. Thank you, Frank. Ross Rachel Brady. Patel Philippe. Frank the Tank. Fella. Patel Philippe. Apes. SR Bell. P. Clen. Mr. Valju, Alibaba 69, Corrado Galizia, Vincent George, Big Sal, Vincent George, Mr. Valju, GB, Frank Cannon, Colorado Galizia, Mr. Valju, My Watch History, Little Dave, Stud Muffin, Mobster, Stud Muffin, Rollin' Travel Channel, Pavel, Herman Love, Apes, Corrado Galizia, and I want to say a big thank you. Guys, stay happy. Wear your watches. Timely, I'm really happy you got your Explorer one.
Thank you.
Anything else, Rolex, you're going to add now, or how are you feeling?
I want to enjoy what I've got for a little bit first before I start looking for another piece, because I've got a bit and I've always just been chasing. So I want to take some time, relax, enjoy it.
Enjoy, Bear. I think I need to enjoy my shit. That's half my problem, Bear. I don't enjoy fucking anything at times.
Right. I mean,
But
you picked up the Grail level watch. I haven't taken my Aquanaut off my wrist since I got it. You have hardly even experienced your amazing piece.
Sorry, and congratulations on that one too, Bear. I haven't seen you since you got it.
Thank you very
I've
much.
seen it. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very, very beautiful.
okay, guys, we will see you tomorrow.
Not
We're
as
going to link.
beautiful as Railmaster, be honest with you. I'm serious, Timely.
Yeah,
I'm
I
actually
believe you.
serious. If I mean the value, okay, sure, value. Value is value. If I'm forced to sell one, guess which one I'm selling?
Yeah, the Patek's gonna go.
Right.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Okay, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Stay
You might
tuned for
want
the morning
to,
show.
I don't think it's going to help tremendously, but you might want to let people know that they should hit the thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually,
Don't
it
forget to
does
up
help
chat.
because I forgot, Doc, and you reminded me. So here we go. Thank you,
Yeah,
Doc.
me too, actually. Boom.
It does help, Doc.
There you
It
go.
does
Well,
help.
it's just, we've got well over 100 viewers, and we had something like 30 thumbs up. I know there's more out there.
Yep.
Give
No
us
worries, guys.
give us a like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends, Archie. Come on.
Like, subscribe, and tell your fuckhead friends. Okay, guys, back tomorrow. Love you all so much.